Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. and Sundays from 9:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. For great convenience without the cost, stop on into Enter and Exit today.
There's a local family moving in our territory.
What do you want from me?
Taste it. It's really good.
We'll go with the mattresses.
It's not personal. It's strictly...
At Carter Myers Automotive, what we do today will tomorrow become what we've done. That's why Owners Just Do More no longer defines us. Our work is never done because what we live by doesn't have a finish line. We care. Our company of owners is moving lives forward every day by finding more ways to care before, during, and after your purchase. Because when you're happy, so are we. Carter Myers Automotive. Proud to be the owners who just care more.
We're the Skinner Brothers. Most folks only need a lawyer once or twice in their lives. And when they're injured or in an accident, most people don't know what to do. We get it. It can be overwhelming.
Nobody likes to be told you need a lawyer, but that's why we're here. We want to get you back to your normal life and help you recover.
So if you or a loved one has been in an accident, give us a call. Let us figure out how we can get you compensation.
Reach us at SkinnerWins.com or Google Skinner Lawyers. We'll treat you like family.
Locust Hill Golf Course invites you to historic Charlestown, West Virginia for 18 holes of phenomenal golf. We're just an hour drive from the Baltimore-D.C. Beltway, 1/2 hour from Winchester and Leesburg, Virginia, as well as Hagerstown and Frederick, Maryland. Each tee offers challenges across the 35 acres of lakes, ponds, and streams, which come into play on 11 holes. The Blue Ridge Mountains also provide a breathtaking backdrop to Locust Hill. Schedule your tee time today at www.locusthillgolfcourse.com or call 304-728-7300. That's 304-728-7300.
The following is a special sports broadcast presentation of Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg.
Play ball! It's time for the excitement of American Legion Baseball, featuring the Berkeley Post-14 Hornets.
The next pitch to Baden Hartman is cracked out to deep left field. That ball is going, gone! A 3-run homer!
Let's go live to the field and join our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
Good evening from P.O. Faulkner Park in Martinsburg, West Virginia for some Berkeley Post-14 Junior Hornets action. I'm Colin McLaughlin for Talk Radio WRNR and TV10. Alongside me is Dylan Bishop. Our cameramen tonight are Nick Verzolini and Braden Schaffner. Back at the studio is Spencer Dupuis. The Berkeley Post-14 Junior Hornets come in 8-3 after a 10-8 comeback victory against Bedford yesterday, and it's a quick turnaround today to take on Boonsboro Post-10's 17U team. As we see warm-ups currently in action, it will be Grant Henderson on the mound getting the start for the junior team. And taking a look at his stats quickly, he's pitched 14 innings in 3 games, had 2 starts so far, but he is 3-0 in those 3 games, only giving up 10 hits, no runs, 14 strikeouts, and 3 walks. So should hopefully be another great day for him, Dylan.
Yeah, he's put out some great performances on the mound so far, and this is a nice lineup he's got behind him, so hopefully they'll put some runs up on the board here against Post 10 out of Boonsboro today, and they'll be able to give us some insurance, and I think that should end up being the case today because we got a really talented lineup of guys up and down the roster from across the pack here, the guys that we'll probably see here in a year or two on the senior team, and I think it's going to be a good day for baseball. It's nice weather outside.
Yeah, that offense really picked up yesterday in the win for the Junior Hornets as they trailed for a majority of that game. At one point it was 7-1, but they were able in the 5th inning to score 2 runs and 2 more in the 6th in a 4-run top of the 7th inning to give them the lead, which Brady Reed came in to pitch. But offensively it was a big day for Ben Reisenweber, a 3-for-3 day with 3 RBIs, scoring 2 runs and a home run as well for him. So let's step aside and take our first 2-minute break here on the pregame show, and when we come back, we will hear from the head coach of the Post 14 Hornets in Ryan Childs. You're tuned in to American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Again, back in 2 minutes.
Do you need a place to go for a quick tobacco, soda, snacks, cigarettes, or beer run? Well, then you're in luck, because Enter and Exit has convenience without the cost. Enter and Exit right off Route 11 is located at 31 Meadow Lane in Martinsburg and soon to be opening in Chambersburg, PA. Enter and Exit is open Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. and Sundays from 9:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. For great convenience without the cost, stop on into Enter and Exit today. Not sure where to go or who to trust with your flooring project? And start with Trips Flooring, proudly serving the area for more than 25 years, specializing in floor sanding and refinishing, along with installation of new flooring, including hardwood, tile, vinyl, laminate, carpet, and the hottest trend in flooring, luxury vinyl, tile, and luxury vinyl plank. Are you on a budget? Check out their warehouse, cash and carry, or call 304-229-7009, or visit them online at tripsfloorsanding.com.
Providing reliable protection since 1877, we are Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies. From small beginnings and over a century later, we maintain our dedication to our policyholders to provide dependable insurance protection and excellent customer service. Protecting everything from your home to your business has never been easier. Our team is here to ensure that you, your family, and your assets are taken care of. We enjoy giving back and doing our part to keep Martinsburg a great place to be.
The Skinner family has been representing West Virginians for more than 50 years.
We've changed the name of our firm to Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers because we want to be clear about what we do. We represent people who have been in car, truck, and other catastrophic accidents.
We're here to be a voice for the injured and vulnerable, and we take that job seriously with deep commitment to serving our clients wherever they are.
Just Google Skinner Accident Lawyer or visit skinnerwins.com. We'll treat you like family.
We welcome you back for American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 between the Boonsboro Post 10 and the Berkeley Post 14 Junior Hornets, who come into tonight's game 8-3 overall. First pitch set around 6 o'clock as Boonsboro has just took the field for its infield warm-up, so might be a little behind schedule. But let's get into our coach's interview now with Ryan Childs of the Berkeley Post 14 Hornets.
Now joined by Coach Ryan Childs. Coach Childs, your team battled back after struggling at the start, came back to get the win against Bedford yesterday. Your defense, let's start there with the 4 errors. What are you hoping to, clean up today?
Well, for me, all these guys can play. It's just one of those concentration deals, focus. It was a long drive up there, first couple innings. Looked really bad, to be quite honest. Made a couple great plays, though. Gross in center field threw a guy out at home. Earhart made a diving play out and left. It's just something we got to come in from the start, be ready to go. So,
your offense, as I mentioned, was able to find itself there, especially Ben Reisenweber with a big day in the home run and have that comeback win 10-8. What'd you like on the offensive end?
Well, that's the second side of the story is kind of been waiting from that from Ben. He's got a lot of talent, so hopefully he's getting it going. Pedersen's getting it going. That was the biggest takeaway of the game for me is falling down 7-1. We could have very easily given up and just wanted to go home. They showed up. That first lefty they threw was real tough. But after that, we got things going, and hitting's contagious. One guy gets a hit, one guy gets a walk, double in the gap, then we're back in the ball game. So.
And then you guys had a few pitchers that went out there. What'd you like from them?
Well, I told him after the game, Brady Reed's, he's my little bulldog. I mean, he goes out there, throws strikes, trusts his defense. He came in, dominated to close the game. Logan Wilt has not been out there much this year. He came in, battled for, I think, 3 innings. And Danner started the game. He hasn't pitched a lot. Quite frankly, he's got incredible stuff. He just needs some more time out there. But he'll come around. We'll get him into it.
Quick turnaround today against Boonsboro Post 10. What are you hoping to see from your guys out there?
Just as a coach, you always want to see the bounce back. It was a big game yesterday. I know these guys are on summer break, so hopefully they're doing all the right things. Long drive, late night. Hope we come out. We got one of our top guys on the mound with Grant. So come out and bounce back and build off that momentum from last night.
What's your expectations for Grant today on the mound?
Same as he always does. Throw strikes, trust the defense, go deep in the ball game for us.
All right, anything else, Coach?
No, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Good luck.
That was Ryan Childs, the head coach of the Berkeley Post 14 Junior Hornets. It looks like infield getting ready to conclude for the Boonsboro Post 10 team. So while they do that, let's get into our starting lineups for today. And let's start off with Boonsboro Post 10, as leading off for Boonsboro in left field is number 20, Trayvon Norton. Batting second and pitching is number 10, Jackson Coulter. Batting third and at second base is number 11, Eli Brown. Batting cleanup for Boonsboro in center field, number 16, Matthew Millardy. Batting fifth at first base is number 3, Brooks Norris. Batting sixth and catching is number 6, Cooper Starkey. Batting seventh at shortstop, number 8, is Landon Yates. Batting eighth at third base, number 1, Cruz Jackson. And rounding out the lineup for Post 10 in right field is number 18, Alexander Klink. They are managed by Scott Coulter. Let's now go to the Berkeley Post 14 Junior Hornets lineup, as leading off today for Post 14 in center field is number 10, Isaac Grove from Martinsburg High School. Batting second at second base, number 9, is Ben Reisenweber, also a Bulldog. Batting third and catching, number 16 from Musselman High School, Taryn Boyles. Batting cleanup at third base, number 18, Braden Edwards from Martinsburg. Batting fifth in left field, number 17, Edgesville Eagle, Brett Pedersen. Batting sixth at first base, number 29 today, Connor Smith from Washington High School. Batting seventh at shortstop, number 4, Sven Dupree from Washington High School. Batting eighth is number 5, Roberto Lopez, also from Washington. And batting ninth for Post 14 in right field, number 3, Logan Wilt from Martinsburg. Dylan, before we step aside, take a 2-minute break, what are you excited for today between these two teams?
Well, it's the first game that I'm going to see live in person for the junior team, so it's going to be fun to see the future of the senior Post 14 team. But I think that we've obviously seen a lot of these guys over the course of the high school season for different squads, and I think there's a lot of talent out here, and I expect good things from them.
Alrighty, while the two managers shake hands along with the umpires, let's step aside, take another 2-minute break, and then we'll get ready for first pitch between Post 14 and Post 10 on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Again, back in 2 minutes.
Not sure where to go or who to trust with your flooring project? And start with Trips Flooring, proudly serving the area for more than 25 years, specializing in floor sanding and refinishing, along with installation of new flooring, including hardwood, tile, vinyl, laminate, carpet, and the hottest trend in flooring, luxury vinyl, tile, and luxury vinyl plank. Are you on a budget? Check out their warehouse, cash and carry, or call 304-229-7009, or visit them online at Trips Flooring.
Mommy, where does flavor come from?
Well, when people love food, they cook it on a Traeger grill. Meat, corn, even pie. And then the Traeger does the rest, which brings everyone to celebrate this beautiful thing that they've created. Because when you share delicious food with your friends, that's the flavor of life.
Shop now and save at Orsini's today.
This is Eric at Hagerstown Ford. Over the last decade, the way we buy things have evolved. Now, you get on your phone, click Want It, and it shows up at your front door. At Hagerstown Ford, it is that convenient. We've changed the car buying experience on the I-81 corridor forever. And with a return policy better than Walmart, there's absolutely no reason to buy a new or used car, truck, or SUV anywhere else. Just like Amazon, Hagerstown Ford will deliver the vehicle to you, where you are, and on your time. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. Why waste your time at a car dealership playing the dumb back and forth games? Besides, we hate it more than you do. I assure you, no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. will beat our price. No dealership from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland will beat our price. And no other dealership will allow you to return it if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely provides the best experience at the best price. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience. Click on the vehicle you want and get your new ride delivered to you at no risk.
See dealer for details.
Welcome back to P.O. Faulkner Park in Martinsburg as the national anthem is just concluded and we get ready for first pitch between Boonsboro Post 10 and the Berkeley Post 14 Junior Hornets. I'm Colin McLaughlin for Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Alongside me is Dylan Bishop. Our cameramen are Nick Versalini and Braden Schaffner. Back at the studio is Spencer Dupuis, and we are now joined in the press box and on the headset by the manager of the senior team for Berkeley Post 14, Trip Tobin, as he'll be here for a few innings with us, talking a little bit about tomorrow's tournament for the senior team. Trip, everything good over there for you?
Yeah, everything's good. We're cleaning the ballpark up here a little bit today after work, and excited to see these juniors here. They had a great game last night against Bedford, a good comeback game for them, and they were down 6 runs and against a very good Bedford team that's basically, for the most part, a lot of their senior squad on that team. So this team has proven, once again, they can play up, and so they're just a really great group to watch. I'm glad we were able to get them on the field this year, get Coach Ryan Childs out there and Josh and Jack to help these guys out and have the facilities to put an extra team out here and give these guys an opportunity to be part of the Post-14 program.
And looking at the starting pitcher for today, and Grant Henderson was talking about his stats earlier. He's been lights out so far in the 3 games that he has pitched. I believe 14 strikeouts, 3 walks, no runs given up in those 3 games yet.
Yeah, he's been, he's one of those guys that goes out and gets it done, pounds a strike zone, lets his defense work when he has to, understands when he needs to try to get a strikeout to get out of an inning. And, he threw excellent up there in Morgantown, threw a great game up there against North Berkeley. And, he doesn't do, he kind of lulls you to sleep. You think, with those kind of stats, you're going to see this, upper 80 fastball and this big stature on the mound. But he's just, he's a growing young man who understands how to play the game and understand how to, work counts and keep them in his favor and get batters out. And he's just really fun to watch. And didn't get to see him in the varsity uniform this year because he's pitching Stephen Martinsburg, but I'm sure we're going to see that in the future.
As we now get ready for first pitch, as the warm-ups have concluded for the Hornets, it will be leading off for Boonsboro Post 10 in left field, number 20, Trayvon Norton. Now he'll get ready to step into the right-handed box. Boonsboro in the all-white uniforms with blue numerals on the back, outlined in red, a giant B in stars and stripes on the side of their uniform. His first pitch coming at 6:01 from Henderson. It's a fastball called strike 1 to Norton to start things off.
And there you go. That's what you expect from him. First pitch strikes.
Yeah, he gets ahead of batters. He just really works quickly and gets ahead and does their things. There we are at 0-2, and now he's going to force the hitter to hit his pitch, and he does a good job. Hopefully I don't jinx him here, but he does a good job when he gets ahead like this to work soft contact or make that batter hit his pitch and not have to throw anything, over the middle of the plate to try to get him out.
The 0-2 pitch is a breaking ball. It just misses for a ball.
Curveball. Ryan's been working with him to, change that arm angle a little bit so that it mimics more of his curve or fastball, so it's not easy to pick up. But you can see where he kind of stayed up on top of that one.
1-2 pitch. Check swing. Norton holds it back. The count now even at 2-2.
Norton's a good-looking young man there. He's very athletic, and looks like he can get down that line. Just a great-looking ball player.
Fastball low for ball 3. The count now full. You got Coulter on deck. He'll be the starting pitcher for Boonsboro the next half inning. Henderson's payoff pitch. It's a line drive into left field over the head of Pedersen. It drops down and one hops to the wall. Norton will head to second base. A lead-off double to start things off in the top of the first for Boonsboro.
That was a great job by Norton. 0-2. didn't offer for a couple of Grant strikeout pitches, and he worked the count back to a 3-2. Grant tried to get him out, tried to throw the ball at the plate, not walk him, and he was just sitting on it and did a great job of getting it over the head down the line of Pedersen. So
Jackson Coulter now up to bat. Henderson's pitch misses inside for ball 1.
So now you can get the pitcher giving himself some early insurance here in the first inning.
Hornets got the first baseman up for the bunt, and at the watch.
1-0 pitch just misses outside for ball 2.
Some guys out there in the field that played on the senior team throughout the tournament this past weekend in Morgantown. Got some experience with that group. So
this one hops on the turf, gets past Boyles to the right. And that'll allow Norton to take third. Count now 3-0.
The pitch got away from Grant there as he didn't make it to the plate there as he dunked that one, and Boyles tried to block it up. Not much he could do there.
Well, hopefully he's just shaking off the cobwebs early on here in the first couple batters.
3-0 pitch. Right down the middle for strike 1.
See if he can bring it back after 0-2. Got double. Now see if he can take a 3-0 count and turn it into an out.
3-1 pitch. Called strike 2 as Coulter thought it was ball 4. He was getting ready to make his way to first, but had to make his way back in that right-handed box.
Couldn't sell it, could he?
3-2 pitch. Low for ball 4, so that walks Jackson Coulter. Runners on the corners now in the top of the first with nobody out to bring up Eli Brown, but not before a mound visit for Berkeley Post 14.
Coach Ryan coming out. He's a pitcher by trade. He comes in here with all that pitching experience. Damascus High School, Clemson pitcher, pitching the College World Series and made it up into the AAAs of the organization. So, it's a great guy to have around if you have a young pitcher, to have at the helm. And I think one of the reasons why our pitching staffs have done so well, is because of Sam and Sam Walls Baseball Academy and what Ryan brings to this program. Those two guys are just really good with these young pitchers.
You can't get much better advice than that.
No, you can't. There's a pretty good pedigree with those two when it comes to pitching.
Brown takes the first pitch for strike 1.
Brown a little smaller than the first two batters, but come from the left-handed side. Looking to see if the Boonsboro wants a steal on this.
Throw over to first, sliding back's Coulter, safe.
Well, they certainly had the same idea as you, Tripp, because keeping a close eye on him.
Yep, they're going to keep an eye on him over there.
Runner going. This one, however, fouled off over to the batting cage on the left side. Count now 0-2.
Yeah, it's get a strike on him. I mean, after the walk, you think maybe you'll wait till he throws a strike. Then it kind of puts you in a bind with the hitter. You get those foul offs, and the hitter can't sit up there and take it 0-1, take one down the gut, so he has to swing.
This one, another curve that Henderson tries to drop down, but it stays outside for a ball.
Yeah, he didn't get on top of that one. It got away from him. I'd ask for another ball.
1-2 pitch, runner going again. However, it's fouled off by Brown and out of play. The count remains 1-2.
Let's go by Brown, keep himself alive.
Runners on the corners, no out, top of the first between Boonsboro and Berkeley.
Berkeley needs a double play.
1-2 pitch, runner going. It's a grounder to the third base side, diving for it's Edwards, and he has to eat that one as he was just able to stop it underneath his glove, but didn't have full control. That'll allow one run to score and have runners on first and second now with still nobody out. Post 10 takes a 1-0 lead in the top of the first.
Yeah, nice job there by that young man, slapping the ball in play. Got it near the left side of the third baseman. Edwards generally catches a lot, but laid out there, kept of course a run scored and everybody moved up a base, but the runners didn't get split into the first and third again. So we keep that runner instead of being 90 feet away, keep him on second base.
Brings up Matthew Millardy, first pitch taken for strike 1. Henderson checks the runner behind him. The 0-1 pitch. Liner one hops to the second baseman. Reisenweber over to second for one, to first for two. The double play. Now 2 outs, runner on third.
Nice job by Reisenweber and Dupree there. And you got the stretch over there from Connor Smith. So close play at first, but they got the double play. So just what the doctor ordered for Grant, as he's giving up a soft contact single and a double and then a walk there. And now he gets double play. Now he's just one pitch away from it. He can get out of this inning in just one run.
Norris up to bat. First pitch called a strike from Henderson. 1-0, runner on third, 2 outs, top of the first. Post 10 leads post 14. The pitch from Henderson. Called strike 2 at the knees of Norris.
Henderson back into a little bit of a rhythm now.
Yeah, that's what you expect out of younger guys. So, a lot of times get that first inning jitters out a little bit.
Pop up to the left side of the infield. Edwards tracking it down, calling off his teammates, and he drops it. It lands behind him. That'll allow a run to score. It's now 2-0 on the error in the top of the first.
Yeah, just got away from him. He kept looking at the catcher, kept looking at the pitcher. I think he thought the rest of them were going to take it, but it's his ball there. He's not a third baseman by trade or a tremendous amount of reps there. So, he's usually the catcher looking for those guys to take the ball. So I think a little bit of indecisiveness there, but that hurts a little bit after they got that double play and allowing that run to come in and when they got out of the inning there. But they'll learn from it, and he's learning multiple positions over there. So just tough break.
Cooper Starkey to the plate now for Boonsboro. Check swings, hold this bat back. It's called a ball. Count now 1-0 to Starkey.
That's bound to happen on a junior team, right? These guys are a little less experienced than seniors, and that stuff will happen from time to time.
I mean, yeah, we can say it happens on a junior team, of course, but I think it's part of it's twofold. It's junior team and then meshing together and playing a couple of different spots as well too. So yeah, both inexperience in his position there at third, and catcher generally letting somebody else catch that ball. And now they're yelling for him to catch that ball. Just kind of switching roles a little bit. So they'll work through it. They're young and they'll be playing together a lot. But it's good to see Edwards playing other positions because sometimes these guys get caught behind the plate and they just become catcher only and hard on their body.
Count now 3 balls and 1 strike to Starkey. Henderson checks the runner at first. 3-1 pitch. Fastball called strike 2 at the knees. Count goes full with 2 outs in the top of the first. Post 10 leads 2-0.
I don't know where he thought that was. Looked like right down
there. It's the second time that Boonsboro's done that.
3-2 pitch, swing and a miss for strike 3. Henderson able to strike out the final batter to end this one, but not before 2 runs crossed the plate on 2 hits and 1 error, 1 left on. It is Boonsboro post 10-2, Berkeley post 14-0. Led to the bottom of the first after this 1-minute break. You're tuned into American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Jambo Construction and Fencing Company, LLC, is a veteran-owned and operated company right here in the Eastern Panhandle of West Virginia that specializes in decks, fencing, and hardscaping. Find us on Facebook at Jambo Construction and Fencing to see more of the projects we've completed. For a free estimate, you can call Bo Bartley at 304-268-5452 or Jamie Gall at 304-279-5053. We are licensed and insured in the state of West Virginia, and as Martinsburg alums, we say, Go Bulldogs.
A new WVU Heart and Vascular Institute is now open in Martinsburg, offering 10,000 square feet of clinic space with exam rooms, procedure rooms, diagnostic capabilities, and a dedicated patient entrance waiting area. At the WVU Heart and Vascular Institute, our board-certified physicians are performing groundbreaking procedures using cutting-edge techniques to provide world-class healthcare close to home. Visit the expanded WVU HVI Clinic on the Berkeley Medical Center campus, a department of Berkeley Medical Center.
Welcome back as we now head to the bottom of the first inning. Isaac Grove, Ben Reisenweber, and Taryn Boyles will be due up for Berkeley post 14 as they trail Boonsboro post 10-2-0.
Down by 6 runs last night to a Bedford team, iron away from home. And, when you're away from home like that and not getting a lot of coverage and just a little bit of game changer, it's easy to just hang your head and take your loss at, when an away game like that, especially that far away. But this team here doesn't have that in them. They fought back and come back and got the 10-8 victory last night. And was kind of keeping an eye on them a little bit during our game as well, and it was just watching them fight back to that. And they're just a great group of kids, and I don't expect them for 1 minute to sit here and worry about this 2-run lead or 2-run deficit.
I'll go up against Jackson Coulter as he starts on the mound today for Boonsboro.
Number 10, center fielder, Isaac Grove.
Grove gets to see a right-hander for the first time start things off. Coulter sends the first pitch to Grove. Grove squares to bunt. It misses high as he pulls the bat back. It's ball 1.
Bunting on the very first pitch, so.
Brings the infield corners in just a little bit.
A guy like that with some speed and hit the ball on the ground a lot, you square around the bump, pull those corners in. That makes their angle is a little shorter to get to a ball going through the infield, so that makes it actually gives you a better opportunity to push the ball through the infield on the third base side if you can pull that guy up.
Next 2 pitches also miss for balls. The count now 3-0 to Grove. Grove steps back into the right-handed box against Coulter. 3-0 pitch. Catches the outside part of the zone for strike 1.
This will be a good opportunity. You can try to get back up on the board immediately. Try to work this game back to tie.
Fouling off the pitch is Grove. The count now full at 3-2 as that one goes into the bricks behind home plate and bounces back. Looks like Jackson's okay with still using that ball as he goes up on the rubber. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Isaac Grove to lead things off for post 14. The pitch from Coulter. Fouled off again by Grove to keep the count full.
Good lead off at bat by Grove. Seen a lot of pitches. He's got his high school coach here keeping an eye on him and see if he's maybe he want to fight for that leadoff spot next year at Martinsburg, or that center field spot vacated by Jordan Canby, as Isaac took over a spot there in left field last year.
3-2 pitch. And it's a grounder right in between shortstop and third. A leadoff single for Isaac Grove to start things off for post 14.
Pushed it through there. Got fake that ball to third baseman up, and then got something off the handle and squirted through the turf there. But I've noticed every pitch there, the left fielder out there, the leadoff batter for Boonsboro, hasn't given this team much credit as far as power. So I expect before the night's over that he's going to have his back chasing with this lineup that this post 14 junior team puts together.
Runner going, the pitch to Ben Reisenweber, caught a strike to throw off the mark, and that'll allow Grove to easily take second base.
He slid clean out of his Latin mitt.
So now, just like the top of the first, leadoff hitter immediately on second base.
Ben coming off a 3-hit night with a home run last night, his first career home run at this level.
Big swing and a miss. Might have got a piece of it at the last second, but nonetheless, the count 0-2 to Reisenweber.
A home run threat now. Ben Reisenweber.
A 3 RBI day and that 3-for-3 day with the home run.
Balked, yeah.
We got a balk now called against Jackson Coulter, so that'll allow Grove to take third.
Yeah, he never stopped. Quick pitched.
Count remains 0-2 as Reisenweber steps back into the box.
I do like Boonsboro's uniforms, all white with the Stars and Stripes B on the hip there. Post 10 up on the chest. Sublimated emblem, American Legion emblem on the patch, and the B on the hat with the Stars and Stripes is a good-looking uniform.
Yeah. 1-2 pitch from Coulter misses outside. Count now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ben.
We're in a drought, but the sprinklers have this field looking pretty green. Everybody else's grass is yellow.
2-2 pitch, a fly ball into left center field. Tracking it down to the center fielder, Millardi will make the catch for the out. The throw, however, is going to be cut off by Cruz Jackson, and that will be a sacrifice fly, scoring Grove to make it 2-1 in the bottom of the first.
Great job by Reisenweber, just doing what he had to do to get the ball in play, and hit it hard. find a place. Man on third, nobody out. It's pretty much the easiest RBI you can come up with if you don't walk somebody or hit it right back to the pitcher. You got an opportunity to score that run, and he did just that. Got the ball in play with 2 strikes, didn't strike out, and got the RBI.
Boyles will let the first pitch go by. It also goes by the glove of Starkey, the catcher, into the backstop. The count now 1 ball and no strikes to Boyles.
Rasenweber continuing with the RBI streak, putting runs on the board.
Pitch from Coulter, high for ball 2. The count 2-0.
Coulter, the right-hander, when you watch him pitch, his ball does tail back into the hitter a bit. If he can continue to work on that pitch and tweak his grip a little bit and get a little more movement, he's going to be really something hard to hit there as a right-hander going through the high school ranks.
Now 3-0s. That one misses outside.
And he got that little hitch too. If you can see it on camera, you can kind of see where he comes up and he kind of hitches right there.
This one caught a strike at the shoulders of Boyles.
Boyles was unable to go to the game last night because he was had football workout. So this young man is getting a lot of work this summer.
Pops up this one to the right side in shallow right field. Klink runs forward, makes the catch for out number 2. Maybe we see him tomorrow, as we'll be out there for the sports mix at Coburn Field for the 7-on-7 tournaments for high school football. So we'll see if maybe
possibly
Musselman's there or not. I believe they were last year.
Not 100% sure position that Taryn plays in football.
Not sure.
I'm not either.
Up to the plate now for Post 14's Braden Edwards. First pitch from Jackson Coulter misses high and outside for ball 1 to Edwards. 1-0 pitch. Popped high into the air to the shortstop, Landon Yates, trying to track it down, and he also loses it. Bounces into the infield. Edwards heads up base running. Will be able to take second on that one. So he finds his way in scoring position with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. We've seen that twice now today.
That was a great job by Edwards of running that out. Most guys just throw the bat in disgust and just walk down to first base, but he took off, and you could see the shortstop kind of, come off that left-handed bat, and it went up. It looked like it was going to kind of go towards the third base side, and it started tailing back, and he started tracking it late as it was coming down, and it looked like he was struggling with it, and Edwards just kept going, and then all of a sudden they abandoned third base as well, so they were scrambling to get third base covered.
Brett Pedersen up to bat now. Pitch from Coulter misses high for ball 1 to Pedersen.
Suddenly they're a hit away from tying the ball game in very similar fashion.
I say it's pretty much exactly how the top of the first went.
Replicated.
Coulter checks the runner from behind, and this one's sent into right field. Klink over the head of Klink.
Triple.
And Pedersen maybe will be thinking 3. Nope, he slides into second. That'll easily score Edwards, and we are tied at 2 in the bottom of the first.
Edwards usually catching, showing his base running prowess after he popped out, kept running it out, and then took off on that play. So I tell you, this junior team hits, man. I mean, they hit, and there's no lead safe when you're playing them.
Brings up Connor Smith now, the 6th batter in the lineup for Post 14. Lefty steps into the box with a runner on second, and Pedersen after the RBI double. This one
got
hits Smith.
I don't understand their lineup. I mean, they got their right fielder almost on the line. The third baseman plays way off the line, and their left fielder plays up on the right-handed batter. So I don't quite understand the setup, other than the left fielder believes he can track down at anything that's hit in the outfield, and
that's very shallow.
The third baseman must really think he can cover the line. That's
Sven Dupuis, first pitch swinging, it's a fly ball. Millardi in right center makes the catch to end the inning, but not before Post 14 was able to tie things up at 2 apiece. We head to the top of the second after this 1-minute break. You're tuned in to American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
the streak continues.
CMA's Martinsburg dealerships continue to knock out the competition with their competitive pricing, extensive selection, and lifetime powertrain warranty. With over 450 new and used vehicles in stock and on the way, CMA won't leave you waiting on a bench.
That's right, CMA's Martinsburg dealerships are once again the most valuable dealers in the area.
For the strongest and deepest lineups, visit CMA's Martinsburg dealerships online at martinsburg.cmacars.com today. And good luck to all Panhandle High School student athletes.
The top of the second now between Boonsboro Post 10 and Berkeley Post 14, tied at 2 apiece. Bottom part of the lineup due up for Boonsboro, and Yates, Jackson, and Klink, the 7, 8, 9 batters, against Grant Henderson. I'm Colin McLaughlin. Alongside me is Dylan Bishop. We're joined by the Post 14 senior Hornets manager and Trip Tobin on the headset. Our cameramen are Nick Verzolini and Braden Schaffner. Back at the studio is Spencer Dupuis. After this first pitch here, we'll talk a little bit about the tournament that starts tomorrow, Trip, as a big swing and a miss for Yates for strike one, as you guys will have 6 teams here throughout the entire weekend for a tournament, the first that you guys get the host.
Yeah, it's going to be the first time we get the host tournament here, and, we're going to get our feet wet. We have an opportunity to. There's not much. So that swinging bunt there, a single there. And Henderson couldn't get to it. It was no man's land, nothing either Henderson or Edwards could do with it on that 0-1 pitch as young man called off the end of the bat and just no play, but man on first. But yeah, some real good teams coming to town. Leesburg, Morgantown. Tomorrow we get the first game of the tournament at 4:30 against, I believe, was it Westminster?
West Lawn Owls at 5 o'clock.
West Lawn is a great program up out of Pennsylvania. Used to host a regional down there, and they get some college games in that facility. Just I expect good things out of them as they get here tomorrow.
First pitch to Cruz Jackson from Henderson, called a strike. So you got in Pool A, you guys, Westminster, Post 31, and the West Lawn Owls, and it looks like Pool B will be Boonsboro's senior team, Morgantown, and Leesburg. As this one, a foul from Jackson over and out of play on the right side. The count now 0-2.
Yeah, I mean, knowing what I know about the 3 teams in Pool B, I would think that, your brain says, hey, we have an easier pool, but I don't know anything about the other 2 other than, what they've done in the past, and they could be the favorites. I have no idea.
Henderson's pitch called strike 3 to Jackson for out number 1. The second strikeout of the evening for Grant Henderson will bring up Klink now, the 9th batter in the lineup for Boonsboro.
I do like the fact that we're playing some different teams, figuring these guys out, coming in, pick off move there, push the runner back. But yeah, these 2 teams, West Lawn, Westminster, we haven't seen much of. We kind of know what those other teams, we know exactly what Leesburg brings to the table. I've seen Morgantown over the weekend, and I know what Boonsboro can do just by, look at this team that they have. Junior team's just stout, so I know their senior team's going to be as good as this can be. So it's going to be a fun tournament, and I think look forward to these guys coming in, spending some nights in town here, spending some money in our motels, and trying to give back to the city and the county what they've put into this place.
First pitch was called a strike to Alexander Klink. Second one he fouls off, out of play for strike 2. So far, Henderson nothing but strikes here to start off the second inning.
Yeah, that's probably what Ryan Childs went out and told him. Said, hey, pound the strikes and let the defense work. Let's not, walk guys. And, when we got an 0-2 guy, we'll try to finish him off and get him, just giving him that kind of a pat on the back. Not a whole lot of tweaking as far as delivery, but just more of pitch selection and location.
Klink fouls this one over to the first base dugout. Might have got his foot a little bit, too, as he's checking his shoes, making sure he's comfortable before stepping back into the left-handed box. You got a runner on first, 1 out, top of the second between Post 10 and Post 14 as we're tied at 2 apiece. Throw over to first. A tag not applied in time.
Post 14 is, we have the opportunity to accept the senior, or excuse me, the senior Legion state tournament next year. It'll bring 8 teams in from all around the state, and so this is going to be a little taste of what it's going to take to do that. And of course, we get a few more days through the week to get that accomplished, as opposed to a 3-day weekend. So we'll have all the games here, 3 or 4 a day, and it'll be some matinees. But it will let us get our feet wet and see if that's something we want to tackle next year and invite those 8 teams into town.
A 1-2 pitch fouled off by Klink, out of play. His I don't remember if you've told us that. Is that some breaking news that you just learned, or
no?
Are you just holding it from us, or did I miss it?
No, I think I just probably haven't said much about it because we have so much work and we have so many other things to talk about. But now we're talking tournaments. It is our area's turn to host, and the last time it came through our area, Romney hosted it, or Post 64.
Swing and a miss, strike 3 for Alexander Klink. So back-to-back strikeouts for Grant Henderson. So we head to the top of the lineup with Trayvon Norton up to bat. He had that double to lead things off in the top of the first.
Yeah, the last time it was hosted by Post 14 or 64, which was back then Romney, and we were lucky enough to have it at Potomac State, and Post 14 and Morgantown fought to the championship game.
Norton swings at the first pitch. It's popped up in foul territory on the first base side. Smith trying to track it down. He makes the catch, almost runs into Boyles. Batter's out, and that retires the side to strand one. We'll head to the bottom of the second after this 1 minute break. It is Boonsboro Post 10-2, Berkeley Post 14-2. You're tuned into American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Not sure where to go or who to trust with your flooring project? And start with Trips Flooring, proudly serving the area for more than 25 years, specializing in floor sanding and refinishing, along with installation of new flooring, including hardwood, tile, vinyl, laminate, carpet, and the hottest trend in flooring, luxury vinyl, tile, and luxury vinyl plank. Are you on a budget? Check out their warehouse, cash and carry, or call 304-229-7009, or visit them online at tripsfloorsanding.com.
We welcome you back to the bottom of the second. We have a pitching change now for Boonsboro Post 10, and let me see how much I remembered all of this. It's number 3, Brooks Norris, moving from first base to the pitcher's mound. The pitcher, number 10, Jackson Coulter, goes from the pitcher's mound to third base to replace Cruz Jackson. Cruz Jackson now goes from third base to right field. And the right fielder, Alexander Klink, goes to first base.
Moving people
I don't think I
around.
missed anything.
Sounds like me yesterday trying to figure out where everybody was at.
But hopefully I remember it during the game.
Seeing guys out on the field just playing some different positions now.
Yeah.
And now up to bat is Lopez for Berkeley Post 14. The 8-9-1 batters will be due up against Norris. First pitch from Norris. It's a hard chopper down the third base line. Third baseman scoops it, fires to first, pulls the first baseman off the bag. You roll that one in error? It's kind of tough. I think he would have maybe beat it, but it was really close.
Yeah, I believe it was
close,
error. Got a different third baseman. He's a little closer to the line. If the original third baseman's over there, that's probably double because he played way off the line. So,
good point.
I think they've changed third baseman, correct?
Yes, they did. Scoring the bunt is Welton. It's fouled over to the third base dugout for strike 1.
Yeah, it's kind of a sacrifice bunt there. Wilt offered for a pitch out of the strike zone. It probably should be 1-0 with a man on second there. As Lopez got a good jump, so Wilt got himself down the count a little bit. He's going to have to fight out of that.
Again, he squares to bunt this one right back up to the pitcher, Norris, and he'll have to throw to first for the fielder's choice. That will allow the sacrifice bunt Lopez to go to second with 1 out.
Get him on, get him over, and get him in to see if we can accomplish. Got 2 out of the 3 accomplished. See if Isaac can check the third box.
So now Isaac Grove up to bat. He singled his last time up.
The speed of Wilt, if he could have got it away from the pitcher, he would give himself a chance to also, get on base there.
First pitch to Grove, misses high for ball 1.
You were mentioning between innings that the pitcher now, Brooks Norris, has that brace on his leg. He was playing first base, now pitcher, so could have a limited mobility on trying to make plays at his position.
Squares to bunt as Grove pulls the bat back for ball 2.
A few years back, I believe, even might have been the COVID year, that Caleb Horner had hurt his knee there and really had damaged his knee, and I think his ACL or MCL, one of the two, during football season, and he wore that all baseball season. It hampers him a little bit, but he fought through it. Now that I remember correctly, and it's just a supportive thing there that he used out throughout the summer, and he threw the ball really well with it on. So hopefully it's just a precaution, and the young man isn't injured or hurting himself any further. Of course, I'm sure that's not the case, but that case with Caleb, it was more of a precaution than it was.
Count now 3 balls and 1 strike to Isaac Grove.
Right, just try to prevent further injury. Might have a little bit of instability in that after an injury.
We know Caleb's still pitching at the high level, and he pitches with the Blue Sox over the summer. So he's fought through that knee injury that he suffered as a young high schooler, and he's pitching at the college ranks and at the adult league ranks right now and having success.
Grove again fouls off a pitch. The count now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Or 3 balls and 2 strikes. Runner on second is running. The pitch misses high. Throw to third. In time for the out. So now 2 outs and a runner on first.
Robbie got tug out there, and you can see Coach Ryan talking to him about when to get that kind of lead, and when to get that, there's a time you can steal third, and you just have to have the bunny hop jump. You have to have a clear cut. It's not like first where you get a good bit of a jump. Second, you really have to have that running start. It really has to be on the pitcher, and you generally can't steal on the catcher at that point. You have to really steal on that pitcher or not go.
Ben Reisenweber to the plate now. First pitch called a ball. Grove looking to steal. The throw from Starkey gets past the glove of Brown and into the outfield, but Reisenweber will stay put. Grove will stay put at second.
So he's got 2 stolen bases now in 3 innings, or 2 innings, I should say.
He's extremely fast. Look for him to steal a lot of bases in his senior year at Martinsburg. He's going to be I think he's going to be a good fit, maybe for that leadoff spot or some, very productive spot there in Martinsburg's lineup, and take over and be a senior leader there.
The 2-0 pitch misses high for ball 3, so the count now 3 balls and no strikes to Ben Reisenweber.
It's nice to look around the park, see the park, lots of cars in the parking lot, fields up and down, now that we can see up on the softball field, and this complex feel to it, and all these spectators here, and it's just nice to see what was done here by the girls softball field and Chuck Seibert, and what the Legion and Martinsburg baseball has put together and created these opportunities for to play on such great facilities.
It was a 4-pitch walk for Reisenweber to put him on first, so back-to-back walks. You have 2 out runners on first and second, tied up at 2 in the bottom of the second for post 10 and post 14. Taryn Boyle's up to bat for post 14, looks at the first pitch from Norris for strike 1.
Taryn certainly a guy who can turn on the ball and make that left fielder take a few steps back as he continues to sneak in. A left fielder who's at back, which is usually opposite for a right-handed hitter if you're going to seesaw the right and left fielder.
Grove going. Throw to third.
He's out
in
there.
Time. Another great throw by Cooper Starkey to end the inning in strand 1. It remains 2-all between Boonsboro post 10 and Berkeley post 14. Wide to the third. After this 1-minute break, you're tuned into American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family. They were relieved to know I'll get just what I want.
My family actually thanked me for taking matters into my own hands. Turns out having this awkward conversation wasn't awkward at all.
Pre-planning is my choice. There are certain things about me my family may not know. Now they won't need to guess.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Brown Funeral Homes and everything will be taken care of. Find out more online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
Laura. Hey, Laura. What's with the sunglasses? Ouch. The word is spreading. Bechtel Jewelers is home to some dangerously brilliant diamonds.
See the difference at Bechtel Jewelers in Inwood. Sunglasses not included.
Back as we head to the top of the third inning now, still tied up at 2 apiece. The 2-3-4 batters due up for Boonsboro and Coulter, Brown, and Millardy.
Yeah, the first time through, those three guys got on base with a walk, an RBI single by Brown, then Millardy grounded into a double play. We're coming off of a nice 1-2-3 inning for Grant Henderson after a little bit of struggles in the first inning.
It was actually 4. You had the single followed by the 3 out, so not 3 up, 3 down.
Oh, excuse me, yeah.
Yep.
3 up and 3 down after the single, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
Three straight outs.
Three straight outs, all right.
He's put down 3 in a row.
You don't worry about that single, right? You don't need, who cares about the single if you go 3 outs after that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's had 3 strikeouts today so far.
Yeah, he was just being nice. He was giving him a hit to start things off before he.
Berkeley had plenty of runners on last inning and got caught stealing third place, ran themselves out of the inning, and
First pitch swinging is Jackson Coulter. It's a shallow single into right field to lead things off for Boonsboro.
Well, that's another leadoff hit.
Yeah, these guys are going to hit each other tonight, I think, a little bit. 2-2, and they blanked each other in the second, but don't expect both of these teams to just go away. I think you're going to see some runs here, as both of these teams have some really good. It appears to have some. Boonsboro appears to have some offensive guys in that lineup.
Eli Brown squares the bunt. It goes down the third base side. Henderson's throw to first will put out Brown. Coulter takes second on the sacrifice.
Nice job there.
Now batting.
He did his job, got the guy in the scoring position.
Center fielder, Matt Millardy.
Now Matthew Millardy up the bat with 1 out and a runner in scoring position for Boonsboro on second base. Pitch from Henderson, low for a ball as Boyles had to drop down to keep that one in front of him.
Well, this is part of the lineup that Henderson did well against last time. Again, Millardy had a double play. Brooks Norris up next would have popped up if not for the error in the infield.
Fouls off the next pitch into the netting. Count now even at 1-1.
Big news today is Kyle West is going to be a Mountaineer.
Yes, Kyle West will be a Mountaineer, and Spencer has texted me that sometime next week we'll have him on the show. Not a day and time set in stone yet, but stay tuned to our social media pages for the announcement of what exact day he will be on the Sports Mix to talk about his decision to transfer from Charleston to West Virginia.
Can we assume that Mike's flying him in and flying him back?
I don't know. Probably not, because I don't think Mike has a plane. He might know somebody that has one, as Millardy now fouls this one off, so the count 1-2.
Let's fly him in from the Green Bay Rockers and get him back up there before he misses his evening game.
Yeah. I think that might cost a little bit too much for a one-day thing. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, runner on second.
A phone interview would be nice.
Yeah.
See how he's feeling.
Anderson sets, checks the runner behind him. The 1-2 pitch. Line drive straight into center field. Grove makes the catch for the out. And that sends the runner and Coulter back to second now with 2 outs.
I had his mom's here. Kyle's mom's here.
Okay.
She's right there.
Yeah.
She come down to see the junior Hornets. Proud mom.
Brooks Norris swings through the first pitch for strike 1 from Henderson.
That young man there, Millardy, he got robbed there a little bit. He got a really good wood on that baseball and just right at Grove.
Fastball misses low. The count now 1-1 to Norris. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, runner on second, top of the third. Pitch from Henderson, called strike 2 to Norris.
So if you can get one more strike, you can do exactly what he did last inning. Give a leadoff hit, but then put the side down.
1-2 pitch. Line drive, fouled off to the first base side and out of play. Keeps the count at 1-2.
Yeah. Grant doing a good job of getting that, trying to get out of this leadoff base hit here.
A 1-2 pitch, breaking ball, chopped foul off the foot of Norris. Keeps the count at 1-2 as Norris trying to battle in this one. It is post 10-2, Berkeley post 14-2, top of the third. Henderson shakes off the pitch from Boyles, like the next one. Runner going. Boyles has to eat it, and that'll allow Coulter to steal third. The count 2-2.
A lot of stealing third here today. 2 out stealing third.
2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs, runner on third. Pitch from Henderson. Popped up foul over towards Charlotte Prather up on the hill. Keeps the count at 2-all for Norris as he's now fouled off 3 pitches.
These teams are being very aggressive on the base paths today. Just overall.
Which means this will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat for Brooks Norris, who's now the pitcher for Boonsboro. Started the game at first base. 2-2 pitch upstairs for ball 3.
Like you mentioned, Norris was the one that got on base with that error with 2 outs. Allowed that second run in the first inning to come in.
Runner on third. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Norris. Payoff pitch from Henderson. Swing and a miss, strike 3 to end the inning and strand the runner on third. It remains 2-2 between Boonsboro post 10 and Berkeley post 14. We'll step aside, take a 1-minute break, and then be back for the bottom of the third. You're tuned in to American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10.
Hi, I'm Ron Springer, head golf professional at The Woods. If you're a golfer who loves fun and competition, get your friends together and enter one of the many fundraising tournaments held at The Woods. You and your group may qualify to play in the area's premier golf event, the Tournament of Champions. The winning team will receive individual prizes as well as a cash prize for the organization they represent. For a list of qualifying tournaments, see ads in Around the Panhandle magazine and the Journal. For a list of rules and regulations, visit thewoods.com or contact me, Ron at thewoods.com.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Back to P.O. Faulkner Park in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Bottom of the third we go for Berkeley post 14, knotted up at 2. And some more changes for Boonsboro post 10 as number 3, Brooks Norris, who started at first base, then last inning went to the pitcher's mound, is now back at first base for Alexander Clank. And entering the game and pitching now is number 13, Logan Hoffman. So 3 pitchers in 3 innings now for Boonsboro as they're trying to rotate everybody and get everybody in this one. That's what we heard from manager Scott Coulter.
Yeah, it's summer baseball. These guys giving up their evenings and their afternoons and they're practicing. And if they're committed to the team and they're showing up to, all the events, then certainly keep guys in there and let them get some hacks at it. It was last night. We had 16 here. Well, would have had 17 had Hartman not had a fever, and not a one of those guys has really missed anything for any other reason than maybe work, which we certainly believe and tell them we think they should have jobs. We think what they should pay for the player fee, so they have some skin in the game. So those guys commit like that, and they're working 3 or 4 days a week and playing baseball 3 or 4 days a week. Get them in the game and let them play the game they love.
First two pitches from Hoffman to Taryn Boyles off the mark, so a 2-0 count to the catcher for post 14. It's Boyles. Only got to see one pitch last inning.
Here we have a special guest, Kyle's mom.
I know
You
that.
actually got her up here.
I got her up.
I wasn't sure if you were or not.
I don't think we can get her to talk though.
Probably not. Like we said, like Kyle mentioned, we'll get Kyle to talk on the show at some point, whenever we can schedule that interview.
2-1 pitch. It's a hard chopper to the second baseman. Brown is thrown to Norris at first in time to retire Taryn Boyles for out number 1.
You have to be proud. You're excited for him.
Now batting, number 18, third baseman, Braden Edwards.
It's now Braden Edwards up to bat.
We get to see Kyle up there with the likes of a few other really good sophomores that have had some great seasons up there. They're going to be lost a guy in the transfer portal, bringing guys in. It's just going to be fun to see how that thing settles and what that roster looks like here as that transfer portal is opened up and guys moving in and moving out.
First pitch was a swing and a miss from Edwards for strike 1. The second pitch low and inside for a ball. So the count even at 1-1. The bottom of the third with 1 out. Score tied at 2 apiece between Boonsboro and Berkeley.
Looks like Krista's still holding the UC color, so she's still got University of Charleston in her heart.
Count now 2-1 as Edwards takes that pitch high for that ball.
It's going to be good to hear from him when he gets on the show and hear the excitement. Texted him the other day, and he was saying that he was going to go in the portal, and he kind of gave me a couple ideas of what where he just said yeah, and then of course watching Kaz and kind of hearing some gossip and noise, knowing he got a lot of good offers. It's just glad to see him here in his home state and being a couple hours away from us being able to come up and watch him play.
2-2 pitch up and in, almost hits Edwards. Count now full at 3-2.
You have to think a lot of kids play baseball around here. WVU is kind of one of those dream kind of schools, especially with some of the players that they put into the majors recently.
Yeah, on the north end, you got Jared Carr, who's had been working out in the Phillies organization. You got Chase and Kyle coming out of Hedgesville. It's just
3-2 pitch, a fly ball to center, backtracking Smilardi. That one's going to go to the wall. Stumbling Smilardi, so Edwards thinking 3. Stumbles on the second base bag, slides into third safely. It's a 1-out triple for Edwards.
Edwards getting it done. Got that catcher speed out there as he took it to the center field wall and kept going. Quite quickly to put the ending on that book, but those guys, Jared, Carr down at Spring Mills, and what these guys have done, and they've just given these guys, inspired a lot of these younger guys, and showed them that there is an opportunity if you put your heart and soul into this game and give it all you got. I mean, you can make things happen, and those guys have done just that.
Pedersen up to bat, swings through the first pitch from Hoffman for strike 1.
Opportunity here for the guys to get for Pedersen to get easy RBI and give the Hornets the lead here in the third.
Pitch from Hoffman, popped up in shallow right field. Jackson running over towards the line in foul territory, makes the catch. His throw home, not in time as the sacrifice fly by Pedersen scores Edwards, and in the bottom of the third, Berkeley post 14 takes the lead 3-2 over Boonsboro post 10.
A lot of power in that bat with that Edwards. He's a very projectable kid, right-handed catcher, left-handed power hitter. I mean, that's just something in every college coach drools over, and even he's got 3 more years of high school, but just a great career ahead for that young man, I believe.
Smith up to bat now.
And he gets to run bases tonight, which he generally doesn't get to do much.
First pitch to Smith, swing and a miss for strike 1. 1 pitch. This one, hard shot, foul over into the parking lot it goes, and hits a Jeep on the bounce though, so no damage done hopefully. Got to be careful while you park around here.
Park at your own risk, right?
Count 0-2 now.
Coach Josh Rush down there, a teammate of Kyle's, and Jack Rathenweber, teammate of his in college, so we've got a little bit of a connections there as well with this coaching staff, and those guys are just happy as can be for Kyle and the good things that are happening for him.
1-2 pitch, just inside. The count now even to Smith at 2-2 from Hoffman. Smith steps into the left-handed box. The 2-2 pitch hops before making its way to home. The count now 3-2.
Not sure what Boonsboro has on the docket for the weekend, but Thursday games, they're tough sometimes on Legion teams, especially if you're going into a tournament. You don't want to burn your pitching up. We may see them throw a lot of pitchers, depending on what they got going on over the weekend. 3-2 pitch, high and away for ball 4 to walk Smith with 2 outs. A runner on first now for Sven Dupree. Another lefty coming up in this lineup.
Now batting, number 4, shortstop.
You've now hit the Patriot part of the lineup as you got Smith, Dupree, and then Lopez.
Get through some Musselman guys, some Martinsburg guys, some Washington guys, Jefferson guys, and get to the Washington, Martinsburg guys.
Pitch from Hoffman catches the inside part of the zone for strike 1 to Sven.
We got Pedersen representing the Eagles, and Schwartz representing the Spring Mills.
Next pitch, high for a ball. Count now 1-1.
Saw Pedersen still has that blonde dyed hair like all the Eagles had.
You can tell the kids that went to state. Those Hedgesville kids are all blondies right now.
1-1 pitch. Fouled over the head of the first baseman, Norris, as that one had some pop to it off the bat. But just to the right.
Ripped that one.
Of the first base line. The count now 1-2.
Wow. Got to see Jackson in his blonde hair yesterday, and talked to text with Lane DeLauder this morning. It looks like we might see him Sunday and get his blonde hair, get a look at it.
And we had another balk on another pitcher for Boonsboro as the count remains 1-2, and that'll allow Smith to go to second. I never knew that Hedgesville also had that tradition of if you go to states to bleach your hair blonde. I know that's a big Wheeling thing, as the multiple high schools up in Wheeling, if they make it, will do that. As Dupree, hard grounder to the second baseman, and bobbling it is Brown, but his throw to first after the recovery's in time to retire the side. Berkeley Post 14 able to score 1 in this bottom of the third. They now lead 3-2 over Boonsboro. We'll head to the fourth after this 1-minute break. You're tuned in to American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
This is Eric at Hagerstown Ford. Over the last decade, the way we buy things have evolved. Now, you get on your phone, click Want It, and it shows up at your front door. At Hagerstown Ford, it is that convenient. We've changed the car buying experience on the I-81 corridor forever. And with a return policy better than Walmart, there's absolutely no reason to buy a new or used car, truck, or SUV anywhere else. Just like Amazon, Hagerstown Ford will deliver the vehicle to you, where you are, and on your time. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. Why waste your time at a car dealership playing the dumb back-and-forth games? Besides, we hate it more than you do. I assure you, no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. will beat our price. No dealership from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland will beat our price. And no other dealership will allow you to return it if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely provides the best experience at the best price. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience. Click on the vehicle you want and get your new ride delivered to you at no risk.
See dealer for details.
We welcome you back as we head to the top of the fourth inning now between Boonsboro Post 10 and Berkeley Post 14 as the Junior Hornets lead 3-2 over Boonsboro. Due up for Boonsboro, the 6, 7, 8 batters in Starkey, Yates, and Jackson.
Grant Henderson so far through 3 innings, 2 runs on 4 hits, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts.
First pitch from Henderson. Fastball called strike 1 to Starkey.
He's starting off this inning strong, too.
He's had 4 strikeouts so far today.
And Cooper Starkey was the first of them.
Breaking ball misses for a ball. The count now 1-1.
Struck him out the end of the top of the first inning.
Looks like we might have a few changes coming up here for Boonsboro. We'll get them eventually as the pitch from Henderson called strike 2 to Starkey now. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to the leadoff batter in this fourth inning. 1-2 pitch. Fouled hard off the end of the bat and into the backstop. Rolls all its way over to the first base side.
Now that's
right
beat
to
to
Smith.
You really hear that one back here.
Count remains at 1-2. Pitch. Breaking ball just outside the count. 2-2 now, as that one had some beautiful movement to it.
Yeah, you couldn't just quite get it to catch the zone.
2-2 pitch. Low for ball 3 now. Count full as catcher and Cooper Starkey has battled back in this one. Henderson sets the payoff pitch. Up and in for ball 4, so it's a leadoff walk for Boonsboro. As now each leadoff batter in all 4 innings has reached base. You had Norton in the first with the double. In the second it was Yates with a single. In the third it was Coulter with a single. And now Starkey with a walk.
Yeah, but the last 2 innings he's been able to put the next 3 batters down.
Big swing and a miss from Yates for strike 1.
Yates got himself a single. First time up.
Runner on first, and Starkey takes his lead. Runner going now. Pitch called strike 2. The throw not in time, as sliding in safely was Starkey to steal second. Count now 0-2 to Yates, though. Top of the 4th, it is post 14-3, post 10-2. Timeout called as Starkey has to adjust his helmet on second base. Henderson looks at the runner behind him, checks back, throw. Called strike 3, down goes Yates on 3 straight strikes. It's the 5th strikeout of the evening for Henderson for out number 1 in the 4th to bring up Cruz Jackson.
And that's the exact way that Jackson went down in his first at-bat. To see if he can recover.
Jackson fouls this one off into the netting behind home plate for strike 1. Oh, 1 count now. Runner on second with 1 out. The pitch from Henderson up and in to Jackson. Count now 1-1.
He's throwing some powerful stuff today. Big reason he's been able to battle back after these leadoff hits. Leadoff base runners.
Henderson's pitch, a fastball that misses outside. The count now 2-1 to Jackson. Cruz ready in the right-handed box to pitch from Henderson. Another fastball. This one called strike 2.
There he goes. Battles back to 2 strikes again.
Henderson sets on the rubber. Here comes the 2-2 delivery. It's fouled off over the first base side and out of play. Count remains at 2-2.
Looks like post 10 plans to keep Logan Hoffman in the lineup up next in place of Jackson Klink on deck.
2-2 pitch. It's a grounder to Reisenweber at second. Scoops it up off the turf. Throws it to Smith at first for the out. Advancing to third on that play was Starkey with 2 outs now to bring up Hoffman.
Well, he is a productive out. Got the runner just 1 base away from scoring. But if you're Henderson, you take that because there's 2 outs now, so you can just try to put this guy away.
Henderson's pitch to Hoffman for strike 1 as Grant Henderson now over 70 pitches at 73 in total. The 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss on the breaking ball. Fools Hoffman for strike 2.
That's the downside of a strikeout pitcher, is a lot of times it takes more pitches to get there.
0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. The 6th strikeout of the night retires Boonsboro, strands the runner on third. And we'll head to the bottom of the 4th. It's still Berkeley post 14 leading Boonsboro post 10, 3-2. You're tuned into American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. We're back in 1 minute.
You've been in an accident. Why won't the insurance company pay? Because they're trying to save money at your expense. Call Mansion Ferretti for your free consultation. We have the experience to deal with the insurance company and get you the compensation you deserve. Mansion Ferretti, when you need justice.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Welcome back to P.O. Faulkner Park as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning, and a lot of changes now for Boonsboro yet again, as we'll start off with the pitcher now for Boonsboro, number 8, Landon Yates. Looks like now catching for Boonsboro's number 2, Cameron Rogers, and I'll do my best to try to see any other defensive changes once they're set into game changer. I'm not sure if you're able to see any.
So I see you got a new first baseman, number 21, Sean Higgins, entering the game for the first time. Eli Brown has moved from second base to shortstop. Haven't gotten a chance to look at who the new second baseman is in that case. It is Alex Smith. That's what I had thought that was the number 12, and thanks to the pitchers, Logan Hoffman's moved from pitcher out to right field.
So that means Cruz Jackson should be...
Cruz Jackson's third base.
Third base. Back to third base. So Jackson Coulter?
Jackson Coulter's exited the game.
Has exited the game. Okay. So there you go. We figured it out. First pitch from Yates. Strike 1 to Lopez. One pitch, breaking ball, called strike 2. It's Landon Yates steps back on the rubber against Lopez, who reached base on the error the last time up and sends this one down the third baseline just foul. Count remains 0-2. That one just to the left of that third base bag, almost hit it. Count remains 0-2. Pitch to Lopez. Low for a ball. Count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. A 1-2 pitch. Low and away. The count now 2-2 to Lopez from Yates. Yates adjusts his glove before stepping back on top of the pitcher's mound against Lopez. Pitch outside for ball 3 as he tried to get Lopez to chase but held the bat back. Count now full as Lopez has been able to battle back in this one. The payoff pitch from Yates. Sent right back up the middle off the glove of Yates to the second baseman. Smith is throw to first just in time for out number 1.
It was a good hustle down the line. Nice hit. Just couldn't quite get it past the glove of Yates. Slowed it down a little bit.
Slowed it down and kind of was able to perfectly put it over to the second base.
Directed it towards Smith. It was a nice piece of hitting.
That brings up Logan Wilt now with 1 out and nobody on in the bottom of the 4th. Pitch from Yates. Missing low and away for ball 1 to Wilt.
I see now. Boonsboro's used a different pitcher in each inning. Quite the opposite of the Hornets so far.
Pitch called a strike on the outside corner. Count now even at 1-1. 1-1 pitch. This is the count now 2-1.
We'll see how long they continue, how many pitchers they have to work with up and down this roster.
2-1 pitch, a hard chopper underneath the glove of the first baseman into right field. It's a one-out single for Logan Welt. That'll bring post 14 to the top of the lineup now with Grove up to bat.
Oh, there you go. He didn't get on base himself this first time around, but he had a productive at-bat with a sacrifice bunt. But now we're at the top of the lineup. Isaac Grove, 1 for 1 with a single and a walk, 2 stolen bases. And got caught stealing, trying to get to third base for a third one.
Throw over to first. Not in time as Welt able to stay standing, making his way back over, and he'll retake his lead off the bag. Looks like we might have another pitcher next inning for Boonsboro as Trevor Welt warming up. Pitch from Yates misses inside for a ball to Grove.
We saw they have a fairly deep bench, deeper than we've seen for some of these Legion teams over the summer.
1-0 pitch. Misses low and away. The count now 2-0 to Grove. Grove looking over to Coach Childs for the call before stepping back into the right-handed box. Runner going has an early jump,
Great
so
jump.
he should easily be able to steal, and he does.
Standing up. He timed that perfectly. I think he honestly started going before the pitcher had started his approach towards the plate.
I believe that one was a ball, so the count now 3-0 on the steal. That one a strike as the fastball catches the knees of Grove. The count now 3-1. Landon Yates on the mound, now the fourth pitcher tonight for Boonsboro. 3-1 pitch. Grounder right back up the middle, through the legs of Yates into center field. The throw from Millardy home. Not in time. Throw to second also not in time as an RBI for Isaac Grove adds an insurance run in the bottom of the fourth for post 14. They now lead post 10 4-2.
Great base running. Great piece of hitting right back up the middle. This time the glove of Yates couldn't slow the ball down.
So that one a single for Grove. He takes second on the throw. Still one out in the bottom of the fourth as Ben Reisenweber up to bat. Pitch from Yates. Misses just inside on the breaking ball to Yates' displeasures. You saw him kind of shake his head on the mound in frustration a little bit. Count 1-0 to Reisenweber. Goes to the fastball for a strike. The count now even at 1-1 to Reisenweber. You have Grove on second with one out. 4-2 lead. The bottom of the fourth for post 14. Runner going. Hit and run as Reisenweber pops this one up into right center. The right fielder underneath it making the catch. So now running back to second is Grove. For out number 2. Now Taryn Boyle's up to bat. Boyle steps into the right-handed box, and we learned earlier that he's also a member of the Appleman football team, and if I remember correctly...
Defensive end.
Defensive end, yes. I couldn't remember if it was defensive back or defensive end, so thank you for you remembering what Tripp said.
Yeah, you can tell he's got the size of a defensive lineman. Makes sense.
Pitch at the shoulders, called a strike to Boyles from Yates.
Boyles 0 for 2. Flew out to center, grounded out to second in his 2 at-bats.
Runner on second with 2 outs. The pitch from Yates. Grounded over to first base. Scooping it is the first baseman. Chucks it to Yates, who jogs over, stomps on the bag to retire the side, but not before. One more run was able to come across for Berkeley Post 14. They now lead Boonsboro Post 10 4-2 at the end of 4. We'll head to the 5th after this 1-minute break. You're tuned into American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
On the Sports Mix, you'll hear debates and discussions on everything in sports.
They got Mixon the best running back right now in the league, it feels like, too, so I think it can stay competitive.
Best running back in the league?
What?
I mean,
Derrick Henry
wasn't
didn't
healthy.
die, did he?
He wasn't healthy.
Tune into the Sports Mix with Spencer, Nick, and Colin. Weekdays from 12 to 1 on Talk Radio WRNR, FM 106.5, AM 740, TV 10, and streaming live on the TV 10 Facebook page.
There's a local family moving in our territory.
What do you want from me?
Taste it. It's really good.
We'll go through the mattresses.
It's not personal. It's strictly business. Leave the guns. Take the pizza.
Rock's, now serving hot, fresh pizza to die for.
Ow, that really hurt.
We welcome you back as we head to the top of the 5th inning. It is Berkeley Post 14, the Junior Hornets, on top of Boonsboro Post 10, 4-2. As Grant Henderson with a solid outing so far today on the pitcher's mound for Berkeley Post 14 through these 4 innings so far, only giving up 4 hits, 2 runs, only 1 earned, 6 strikeouts, and 2 walks so far on 74 pitches, with 52 of them for strikes.
Yeah, the first inning he kind of struggled a little bit, gave up a leadoff single, or excuse me, leadoff double, threw a wild pitch that ended up getting the runner in on a double play. And then there was an error that let that second run get in. But ever since, he's given up leadoff base runners, but other than that, he's been able to clear himself some clean innings.
Now he goes up against the top of the lineup as Norton to the plate. Will take the first pitch. It's a breaking ball that skips off the catcher and boils and almost over the net and into the stands on the third base side, but it's a ball. Count 1-0 as Norton 1 for 2 today. And that double and a pop up, and he sends this one, a line drive into left center field. It's going to go all the way to the fence, and Norton with another double for him today.
He's seen the ball very well. Henderson just can't get off the streak of letting that first guy get on base. Maybe it's making him more comfortable up there. Pitch out of the stretch.
Maybe. As we now have coming to the plate number 12, Alex Smith in the place of Coulter. First pitch to Smith, first strike.
And Coulter ended up being 1 for 1. A walk and a single, a stolen base, and a run.
Chops this one to the pitcher. Henderson's throw to first in time for the out, but that'll allow Norton to go to third with 1 out.
There you go. Post 10's been able to get him on and get him over, but since the first inning, haven't been able to get him in. But now they've gotten themselves a good opportunity, running on third with 1 out.
And Eli Brown up to bat now. Pitch from Henderson. High for ball 1 to Brown.
Brown got himself a RBI single in the first inning, drove in Norton.
His last time up, he grounded to the pitcher, and he sends a line drive right back up the middle. It's an RBI single for Eli Brown to make it now 4-3. As Boonsboro not going away just yet against Berkeley Post 14.
No, his first RBI single was more of an infield hit over to third base. Edwards got a hand on it, but just couldn't quite make the play. That one's just right into the outfield.
This one inside almost hits the batter as it's Matthew Millardy off the bat. The count now 1-0.
I see pitch count starting to get a little higher, a little deeper in the game. 5th time out there.
Yeah, he's over 80 pitches now. This one fouled off to the third base side, almost into the dugout. Count 1-1.
Millardy's 0 for 2, grounded in a double play. First time up. Flew out the left to center field, second time around.
Anderson looks over at the runner at first as he takes his lead in Brown. He starts to go. The throw, hit and run situation. It's a fly ball to Pedersen in left field. Underneath it makes the catch, and that'll force Brown to go back to first with now 2 outs in the top of the 5th.
It almost left so early on that steal attempt that he could have not gone to the plate at all and tried to pick him off.
Now we have a mound visit. It looks like it might be the end of Henderson's day, potentially, as we see the infield come together with manager Ryan Childs. And no, it looks like it was just a little confidence, making sure he can get through this last batter, so Henderson will stay put on the mound.
Yeah, we'll see. Might just be a little pep talk.
Yep.
Maybe given. Let's see, there's no one up in the bullpen for the Hornets.
Now up to bat in the place of Norris is number 21, Sean Higgins. Throw over to first, not in time as
he thought he got
Smith kind of played it off as if they were able to pick off Brown, but Brown must have just got his hand on the bag in time.
He thought he got him, for sure.
Anderson sets. The pitch misses for a ball for Higgins. The count now 1-0.
It's a little more contact this inning from the top of the lineup for Boonsboro, but Henderson's still gotten it to 2 outs. No one in scoring position yet.
1-0 pitch, caught a strike to Higgins as he lets that one go into the glove of Boyles. The count now even at 1-1.
Of course, Henderson had an extra run to work with for the bottom of the 4th.
1-1 pitch, runner going, and that one underneath the glove of Sven Dupree at shortstop. Throw from center fielder Grove to third. Looked like it was in time, and it was. The tag applied by Edwards into Brown for the out, and that strands one, keeps the score at 4-3 as they were able to cut that deficit to 1 with 1 run crossing the plate in the top of the 5th, led to the bottom of the 5th after this 1-minute break. You're tuned into American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10. We're back.
Join us this summer for the thrill of American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10. The Berkeley Post 14 Hornets are the premier team in the area, and you don't want to miss 1 second of the action.
The next pitch to Baden Hartman is cracked out to deep left field. That ball is gone! A 3-run homer!
The Hornets begin their season on June 3rd. We'll have coverage all the way through the area tournament, July 18th through the 22nd at P.O. Faulkner Park.
At Carter Myers Automotive, what we do today will tomorrow become what we've done. That's why Owners Just Do More no longer defines us. Our work is never done because what we live by doesn't have a finish line. We care. Our company of owners is moving lives forward every day by finding more ways to care before, during, and after your purchase. Because when you're happy, so are we. Carter Myers Automotive. Proud to be the owners who just care more.
Welcome back to P.O. Faulkner Park as we head to the bottom of the 5th now. It's still Berkeley Post 14 leading Boonsboro Post 10. It's now 4-3 after Post 10 was able to score 1 in the top half of the 5th. And they now have another new pitcher. He's now pitching for Boonsboro's number 19, Trevor Wilt, as he's the 5th pitcher to come in. Everybody, it looks like, just going 1 inning each to keep their arms fresh, but also get them into today's game.
Yeah, it hasn't gone too bad for them so far. I mean, 4 runs. It's not ideally what you want to give up in 4 innings, but I mean, none of these guys have had too bad of work out on the mound. Jackson Coulter started things out, 2 hits, 1 walk, gave up 2 runs. Brooks Norris gave up 2 walks, but no runs. Hoffman only gave up 1 on a hit and a walk. And Landon Yates gave up 1 as well.
So now we get to see what Trevor Wilt can do out on the mound for Boonsboro. That is due up for Berkeley Post 14, the heart of the lineup, and Edwards, Pedersen, and Smith, the 4, 5, 6 batters. As Edwards steps into the plate, takes the first pitch low for ball 1. Edwards has scored after coming around with an error his first time up, and the triple his last time up. Pitch misses inside for ball 2 to Edwards, as that one almost grazed his jersey, but he was able to kind of tuck back. Count 2-0. So Wilt steps on the rubber. Wind up in the 2-0 pitch to Edwards. Low for ball 3. So this one Wilt's inning, and it looks like we, of course, have another pitcher warming up in Boonsboro's bullpen. It looks like it's number 26, Alan Cook, that will most likely come in next inning. Unless anything goes wrong here too much for Wilt, as this one inside caught a strike to Edwards to make the count 3-1. Edwards kind of opening up his stance now, trying to pull this into right potentially. The 3-1 pitch misses inside for ball 4, so a leadoff walk start off the bottom half of the 5th for Berkeley Post 14. It's the 4th walk in total today. Brett Pedersen up the bat now. He has an RBI double and a sac fly, so that also with an RBI, so 2 RBI day for him. So this pitch by Wilt off the glove of the catcher, that'll allow Edwards to take second as it went into the backstop. Count now 1-0 to Pedersen.
I got 5 walks on my count over here. One was a hit by a pitch, first time around for Connor Smith.
Okay. This pitch high for ball 2.
Pedersen, 2 RBIs on the day. Double and a sac fly.
Pitch from Wilt. On the inside corner, called a strike to Pedersen. Count now 2-1. It's 4-3 Berkeley Post 14. The Junior Hornets on top of Boonsboro Post 10. This one misses inside, the count now 3-1, as these are both the 17U teams for Boonsboro and Berkeley, as the senior teams will be in action over the weekend here at PO, as the tournament that will begin tomorrow and go Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And that'll be a fun time. Some good teams coming down to the area.
It's back-to-back walks as the 3-1 pitch, high and outside to Pedersen. So now runners on first and second. The timeout called as Rogers, the catcher, going out to talk with his pitcher and Trevor Wilt, kind of settle him down, as now up to bat is Connor Smith.
And Smith's done nothing but walk today. Hitting his first at bat and got a traditional walk in the second one.
Smith steps back into the left-handed box, and this one almost hits him. He had to lean back for ball 1.
And another pitcher warming up for Boonsboro right now. It's a lefty, Jackson Klink.
Alexander Klink.
Yeah, excuse me.
And Wilt slips off the mound on that one. Count now 2-0, as kind of lost his footing with the turf mound. seems uncomfortable a little bit out there trying to settle in, but hasn't been able to do so. 2 balls, no strikes for Smith against Welt. The pitch from Welt, a fastball, called a strike to Smith. Count 2-1.
Smith's been making these pitchers work today.
Klink coming in from the bullpen. So we'll see if they go with Cook or Klink. 2-1 pitch. Grounder in between shortstop and third into left field. And that'll load the bases with nobody out in the bottom of the 5th for Berkeley Post 14.
Well, you start getting deeper and deeper into the pitching rotation in the bullpen. And you never quite know what you might get. So the Hornets have a chance to blow this game open.
Sven Dupree up to bat now for Berkeley Post 14. Pitch from Welt. Misses outside for ball 1. A timeout called, and it looks like the manager and Scott Coulter are going to go out to talk to Trevor Welt. Let's see if he decides to pull Welt or not, or it looks like he's kind of just trying to fix the turf out there on top of the mound to give him better footing, as looks like they're going to stay with Welt. So just a quick little make sure everything's good to go pep talk. Say this is your inning. Let's figure it out, as
no damage done yet.
Bases loaded though with nobody out.
No damage done yet. Just put these guys down.
A 1-0 count to Sven. Count now even at 1-1 as this one catches the outside part of the strike zone.
Sven's 0 for 2 so far. Flew out to center, grounded out to second.
1-1 pitch from Welt. Popped and fouled off over behind home plate. The count now 1-2. Is Welt, for the first time this inning, ahead in the count on the mound. So maybe that talk from his manager kind of helped him out there. 1-2 pitch to Dupree. Grounded off home plate over to the first base dugout and foul to keep the count at 1-2. So you have Smith on first, Pedersen on second, Edwards on third now. Nobody out. Bottom of the 5th, it's 4-3. This pitch way outside, off the glove of Rogers, and Edwards will score to make it 5-3. Pedersen goes on the wild pitch to third, Smith to second. Count now 2-2 to Sven. And that helps.
Yep, another back up to a 2-run lead, some more insurance.
That one just, the release point for Welt was not there.
Nope.
2-2 pitch. Again, misses outside. Count now 3-2.
Yeah, it's getting away from him. Arms getting wide. Not able to pull the ball in where he wants it.
Pitch from Trevor Welt. It's a fly ball from Sven Dupree in foul territory in the left field side. Norton will let it drop to make sure it's not a sac fly. Is kind of smart there. He probably could have made the catch, but didn't want the runner to come home, so
yeah,
decides to let it land and keep the count at 3-2. However, ball in play could be worse than that situation potentially. Or
could be. You'll have to see if it works out.
Pitch. Send in right center field, and that one's going to score them both. Dupree sends it all the way to the wall, and it looks like he might be thinking 3. The throw from Ellis in right. Sliding in safely is Sven Dupree. A base-clearing triple opens this one up to a 7-3 lead now for Berkeley Post 14 over Boonsboro Post 10 in the bottom of the 5th.
Absolutely ripped that one into the right center field gap.
Now batting,
Great hit from Sven Dupree. And you're right, that's totally different dynamic now. 4-run lead.
checking to make sure right fielder and Ellis is okay. His first pitch swinging and fly ball to Ellis. Coming forward, diving and misses it. It's Lopez now rounding first, heading to second, and that'll score Dupree to make it 8-3 in the bottom of the fifth. As I was trying to mention, Ellis kind of looked like that last play was shook up a little bit because once he went to the wall, he went to turn to throw to the cutoff man, kind of slipped, so I wasn't sure how his leg was going to be. And of course, the first pitch for Lopez, he sends out to test Ellis.
Yep, he had no chance to recover. He had to make a play right away, and it did not work out.
Pinch hitter now for Berkeley Post 14, swing and a miss for strike one as Andrew Earhart up to bat now. This pitch up and in over the head of Earhart. Count now 1-1.
Yeah, we're on our way to probably a mid-inning substitution. Yet to get an out is Wilt.
This pitch from Wilt misses. The count now 2-1 to Earhart.
We saw Klink was warming up in the bullpen early in the inning. And he's since come back to the dugout, so he may be ready to go whenever.
This pitch misses outside. The count now 3-1. Still nobody out. The bottom of the fifth as it was 4-3 going in, but now 4 runs have crossed the plate in the bottom of the fifth, make it 8-3. Berkeley Post 14 leading. This one caught a strike. The count now 4-3-2 as that one must have caught the top right part of the strike zone.
I don't really think you want to get to the top of the lineup with no outs. This is a big at-bat.
This one fouled off the mask of Rogers. It looks to be okay as the count stays full for Earhart.
Because on deck you've got Isaac Grove, 2 for 2 with a single, a double, and a walk. There's an RBI and a run, 2 stolen bases.
Everybody settles back. Wilt sets, looks at the runner behind him for the payoff pitch. Runner going. This one popped up into shallow center. The shortstop makes the catch. Nobody covering second. The throw to second bobbled, so avoiding the double play was Berkeley Post 14. So now 1 out, and the runner and Lopez stays on second base.
Boy, that was... Man. It was a great jump out at second base going to third by Lopez. But popped it up. It was the exact right place for him to have just enough time that there was a bobble.
Runner going, and he easily steals third on the jump was Lopez as that one caught a strike to Isaac Grove.
And they kind of just weren't watching him.
Berkeley Post 14 early aggressive on the base paths, and with Wilt out there kind of just focused on getting out of this inning, they're going to take more of an aggressive approach as this one misses for a ball to Grove. Count now 1-1 as Grove has singled twice and walked today. Wilt with a deep breath sets on the rubber. The 1-1 pitch, fastball popped over into right field. Into the bullpen it goes foul. The count now 1-2 for Grove. Wilt now with 30 pitches this inning. 31, actually, sorry. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner on third. Pitch from Wilt to Grove. Fouled into the net. The count remains 1-2.
Sent that one right towards our camera. A little low, luckily.
Trevor Welt looks at the runner at third before the pitch. This one high for a ball to Grove. Count now 2-2.
I think the attempt to throw him off and his pitch by making some moves over at third base, and in his mind it worked at least.
Lopez again with a little jump there, trying to see if he can get a balk or not, as we have seen 2 balks today from pitchers from Boonsboro. The pitch misses outside for ball 3, so the count now full at 3-2 to Grove.
If he gets on base with a walk, he'd be a threat to steal his third base on his 4th attempt right away.
3-2 pitch. Fouled off the end of the bat at Grove. Keep the count full at 3-2. It'll also be the 4th time today he reaches base.
Yep. It's been a big day for him so far.
That's what you like from your leadoff batter.
Yep, that's why you put him number 1 in the lineup.
A 3-2 pitch from Welt. Misses inside for ball 4 to Grove. In the 8-pitch at bat, he's able to walk his way down to first. So runners on the corners with 1 out, and now batting Ben Reisenweber.
So no base hits for Reisenweber today, but sac fly RBI, was able to drive in Grove in the first inning and got himself on base with a walk in his second at bat.
Yep, and then his last time up, he flew out to right, runner and Grove going. That'll be a catcher's indifference on the pitch, and the count now 1-0 as runners in scoring position at second and third now.
There you go, stealing second 3 times today is Grove.
1-0 pitch. Check swing. Reisenweber keeps it back. As that one a ball. Count now 2-0.
It's a long leash for Wilt.
Wilt sets the 2-0 pitch. Eye for ball 3.
He's at 4 runs now that he's given up. 3 walks, 2 hits.
Yeah, it's been a tough outing so far for him, as he's now at 38 pitches, make it 39 on this one, as it's a 4-pitch walk. And that'll load the bases with 1 out to bring up Taryn Boyles for Berkeley Post 14, and it looks like they are going to decide to pull Trevor Welt now, as we're going to have a few switcheroos here. So let's step aside, take a 1-minute break, and we'll come back after the defensive changes. It's Berkeley Post 14 leading Boonsboro Post 10, 8-3 in the bottom of the 5th inning. You're tuned into American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Again, we're back in 1 minute.
This is Eric at Hancock Chevrolet. Over the last decade, the way we buy things have evolved. Now, you get on your phone, click Want It, and it shows up at your front door. At Hancock Chevrolet, it is that easy. We've changed the car buying experience on the I-81 corridor forever. And with a return policy better than Walmart, there's absolutely no reason to buy a new or used car, truck, or SUV anywhere else. Just like Amazon, Hancock Chevrolet will deliver the vehicle to you, where you are, and on your time. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. Why waste your time in a car dealership playing the dumb back-and-forth games? Besides, we hate it more than you do. I assure you, no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. will beat our price. No dealership from Cumberland to Baltimore, Maryland will beat our price. And no other dealership will allow you to return it if you don't want it. Hancock Chevrolet absolutely provides the best experience at the best price. Visit HancockChevy.com to schedule your VIP experience. Click on the vehicle you want, and your new ride will be delivered to you at no risk.
See dealer for details.
We welcome you back here to Martinsburg, West Virginia, as it's 8-3. Berkeley Post 14 Junior Hornets on top of Boonsboro Post 10. Another pitcher now for Boonsboro, as the center fielder, number 16, Matthew Millardi, now will head to the pitcher's mound to be the 6th pitcher for Boonsboro today, as just looked like Trevor Welt simply just didn't have his best stuff out there.
No, some days you just don't have it. You know? We've seen that from Post 14 as well. You know, senior league, junior league. Sometimes you just don't have your best stuff that day. Can't win them all.
It's Taryn Boyles now up to bat, the 9th batter to come up this inning for Berkeley. Pitch from Millardi. Fastball low and in for ball 1 to Boyles. Yeah, bases loaded with 1 out. Millardi sets. 1-0 pitch. Fastball called a strike on the inside part of the plate. Count now even at 1-1 to Taryn Boyles.
And Boyles is the only Hornet in the lineup that has yet to get on base. From the starting 9, at least.
1-1 pitch. It's a grounder to the shortstop, scooping it up. Throw to second for 1, over to first. In time for the double play, so they're able to avoid disaster and keep it at 8-3. Millardi gets the job done. We'll head to the 6th inning now. It remains 8-3. Berkeley Post 14 leading Boonsboro Post 10. You're tuned in to American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10. We're back in a minute.
Ollie's VIP Northside at 36 Veronica Drive, Martinsburg is your favorite place to have a great meal, a good time, and to catch all the games. Join us Mondays for 75-cent wings and follow your favorite team from the bar on our 17 TVs located all throughout the bar or from the outdoor fire pit. Ollie's has great food and drink menus and features specials for every day of the week, including Saturdays when you can get a 16-ounce ribeye steak grilled the way you want it for just $24.95. That's Ollie's VIP Northside at 36 Veronica Drive, Martinsburg. We'll see you for the game.
Do you need a place to go for a quick tobacco, soda, snacks, cigarettes, or beer run? Well, then you're in luck, because Enter and Exit has convenience without the cost. Enter and Exit right off Route 11 is located at 31 Meadow Lane in Martinsburg and soon to be opening in Chambersburg, PA. Enter and Exit is open Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. and Sundays from 9:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. For great convenience without the cost, stop on into Enter and Exit today.
Welcome back as we head to the 6th inning now, and we have a new pitcher for Berkeley Post 14, so Grant Henderson's day done, and now pitching for Post 14, it looks like, is number 13, Jet Gross from Jefferson High School.
Yeah, I saw him last inning kind of walk back from the bullpen area to the dugout during that mound visit. So that's the end of the day for Grant Henderson. Looks like his day is done at 5 innings, 7 hits, 2 walks, 3 runs, 6 strikeouts. So a pretty solid day overall for Grant Henderson. Most of that...
Ollie's VIP Northside at 36 Veronica Drive, Martinsburg is your favorite place.
2 runs. One of them came in on an error. So overall, a good day for Henderson. Keeping up the good pitching on the year.
So now we get to see Jet Gross as he'll go up against Boonsboro with a comfortable lead after Berkeley Post 14 was able to double its runs up there with 4 tacked on in the bottom of the 5th. They now lead 8-3. Now up to bat for Boonsboro is number 2, Cameron Rogers. So Rogers, with his first at-bat of the evening, takes the first pitch for a strike from Gross. Trying to see if anything else has changed or not. It looks like it was just a straight swap for the pitchers as this pitch misses outside, so 1-1. So the defensive alignment stays the same for Post 14.
And Post 10's been moving everything around. First change for the Hornets.
Actually, I am incorrect. I forgot that it was Earhart that came in for Wilt last inning as well.
Earhart should be in right field.
Right field, yep.
Yeah.
Count now 3-1 as 2 straight balls after the 1-1 count to Rogers for Jet Gross. It's Gross. Sorry, Dom.
It's a lot tougher situation now for Boonsboro. Down to their last 6 outs. And down by 5 runs.
3-1 pitch, a fastball right down the heart of the plate for a strike. The count now full at 3-2.
And you went into that bottom of the 5th only down by a run. And that's been the case most of this game. You started out first half inning of the game up by 2. Hornets tied it back up. they've been up by only one or two ever since.
3-2 pitch. One hops to the shortstop. Reisenweber is throw to Smith at first to retire Rogers for out number 1.
So it's a nice start for Gross. We have
looks like another new hitter in as Trevor Wilt up to the plate now.
Number 19, Trevor Wilt.
Yeah, the spot in the lineup was Landon Yates. So just a straight swap in the lineup when there was a pitching change. Yates for Wilt.
First 2 pitches to Wilt, called strikes, so the count now 0-2.
And it's lefty versus lefty.
Gross sets the 0-2 pitch. Just misses outside for a ball. So Wilt steps in against Gross with the 1-2 count. Gross, it looked like kind of slipped there on the turf, lost his balance as that pitch misses outside the count 2-2. Got the middle infield kind of back on the green part of the turf, almost into the outfield grass. Trying to keep everything in. The 2-2 pitch misses inside the count, now full at 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on. Trevor Wilt steps in. Jet Gross sets the payoff pitch from Gross. Called strike 3. Down goes Wilt for out number 2. First strikeout for Gross tonight. The 7th in total against Boonsboro.
Nice start to these first 2 batters for Gross. See if he'll just finish out this game, perhaps.
It's Cruz Jackson now up to bat. He's 0 for 2 today.
Only
Struck
needs
out.
4 outs.
First pitch to Jackson, misses inside for a ball. As I mentioned, 0 for 2. He struck out and grounded to second base his last time up in the 4th. Jackson, a right-handed batter against Gross. Pitch right down the middle, called a strike. It's interesting for Cruz. You typically don't see that as a first name, and the only baseball player I can think of is Nelson Cruz with that name as a last name. But he spells it differently. This Cruz Jackson is this pitch for a ball. It's with a K, so K-R-U-Z.
It's a cool name. I like it. Cruz Jackson.
2-1 pitch. Fouled into the net right above our camera for those tuning in. Count now 2-2.
There you go. One more strike and 3 up, 3 down.
Jet Gross gets a new baseball, steps on the rubber. The left-handed pitcher against the right-handed batter. The pitch just low. The count again goes full for the 3rd time this half inning at 3-2. But it's been that 6th pitch that Gross has been able to get the job done. Let's see if he can do it. Payoff pitch, it's fouled off. We'll have a 7th pitch as that one goes out of play off the fencing of the ballpark.
Yeah, Jackson hasn't had much success up at the plate today, but he's keeping himself alive at least, making Gross work.
Payoff pitch, it's 2 out single for Jet Gross. Let's see if he thinks 2. No. Kind of originally looked like he was maybe going to be aggressive and go for 2, but
he took a big turn.
He took a big turn and wanted to step on it with his right foot on the first base bag, but missed, so he had to stop and go hit it with his left foot. So I think that might be the reason why, but it's still 2 out single nonetheless for him. Keep this 6th inning alive for Boonsboro. Pitch misses for a ball. Is up to the plate now is Ryder Ellis. 1-0 count to Ellis. His pitch high and outside for ball 2. It's Gross again there. Kind of looked like he might have slipped a little bit. It's tough on this turf to really have any footing sometimes on that mound when you're not used to it. Throw over to first, picks him off. The tag inside by Smith as they caught Jackson slipping. So we'll head to the bottom half of the 6th. It remains 8-3. Berkeley Post 14 leads Boonsboro Post 10. You're tuned into American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. We're back in 1 minute.
Whether it's a strain, sprain, or fracture, WVU Medicine Orthopedics and Sports Medicine in Charlestown and Spring Mills now offers same-day appointments. No referral is needed unless required by your insurance carrier. WVU Medicine Orthopedics and Sports Medicine offers the exceptional care you expect for the injuries you don't. For same-day appointments at WVU Medicine Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, call 304-725-BONE.
The Honda HR-V, CR-V, Pilot, Passport, and Ridgeline. They all have one thing in common. They never back off from a challenge. Available with all-wheel drive, the Honda SUV lineup has the performance you can count on and the capability to amaze. It's no wonder Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com named Honda the 2022 Best Value brand.
CMA's Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA, moving lives forward.
Based on 2022 brand image awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit KBB.com for more information.
We welcome you back as we're now into the bottom of the 6th inning between Berkeley Post 14 and Boonsboro Post 10 as the Hornets lead 8-3. Looks like we have another pitcher in for Boonsboro, as now pitching is number 26, Alan Cook, and he becomes the 7th pitcher now for Boonsboro. As he gets ready to conclude his warm-up pitches, we'll get ready for Edwards to start things off again this half inning. As he started off the 5th inning, everyone got to hit in that 4-run bottom of the 5th for Berkeley Post 14, where they really opened this one up. It was a 1-run game up until that point. As Edwards, the left-handed batter, will step in against Cook. Braden Edwards so far today reached on an error his first time up, tripled, and walked so far. All 3 times, though, he's made it. He scored as he fouls off the first pitch from Cook for strike 1. As Cook gets a new baseball from his catcher, Rogers. The 0-1 count now to Edwards. As he steps back in with an open stance in that left-handed box. Again, though, behind this one, he fouls it away over to the third base side. Count now 0-2 to Edwards. Cook ready for Edwards. Sets the 0-2 pitch. Way outside for a ball. Alan Cook kind of just emotionless out there now. Drops the ball, has to recover it. That one rolled off the mound. You see no expression in his face out there as the 1-2 pitch eyeing away for ball 2. Kind of just lost his release point on these last 2 pitches.
Yeah, it's gotten away from him. 7th pitcher on the day in 6 innings.
2-2 pitch eyeing outside for ball 3 as Edwards is just sitting there waiting for one. Count now full.
Yeah, Edwards drew a walk last time up. Might get another one.
Sends this one right back up the middle. It's a leadoff hit for Braden Edwards, and it's a single.
Well, his at-bat before that walk was a triple. So now he's got 2 hits on the day. Gotten on base in all 4 at-bats. First one on an error, but second hit for him.
Yep. Let's see if for the 4th time today he can come around and score. Is Pedersen up to bat now?
Yep.
He has a 2 RBI day. First pitch high for a ball from Cook. Pedersen walked his last time up. Edwards with a lead on first as this pitch inside for a strike to Pedersen. Almost looked like Edwards was maybe going to jump at that one. Let's see if he does so this time around, seeing how much Cook's paying attention to him or not. Cook checks over at him. This pitch high and inside right above the head of Pedersen as he ducks underneath that one. Count now 2-1. Now Cook's 2-1 pitch. Weiner down the third baseline and fair, going to the wall. Scooping it up to the left fielder, telling him to throw to 3. It's not in time. It gets past the cutoff man. It's a double for Pedersen. 2 runners in scoring position now in the bottom half of the 6th with nobody out for Berkeley Post 14.
It's a nice day for Pedersen. Second double. He's got 2 RBIs. One of them was on a sac fly. So he's 3 for 3. He scored a run as well. Got on base with a walk.
First pitch to Connor Smith, a breaking ball that misses low and outside for ball 1.
So if this inning gets away from you, I mean, it could, if you're Boonsboro, not even get those last 3 at-bats, those last 3 outs.
This pitch misses outside for ball 2. Count now 2-0 from Cook to Smith. Smith singled his last time up. Sends this one right down the first baseline. It's fair. That'll score 1, rounding third. Coming home to score is Pedersen. Throw will be cut off. It's now 10-3. Berkeley Post 14 leads Boonsboro Post 10 as it's a 2 RBI single for Smith in the bottom of the 6th.
That's just really nicely hit down the line. And that's exactly what I was kind of talking about, was you're kind of coming up against that potential run rule. Could be another instance for a late stretch turning into a run rule for Post 14.
Sven Dupree now up to bat. He had that RBI, or excuse me, 2 RBI triple his last time up, as the count now 1-1 to Sven.
So you've got that 10th run on deck now, potentially, with no outs. So going to need a nice recovery.
On Cook's pitch. This one grounded right back up the middle. And it's another base hit for Berkeley Post 14 as runners now on first and second after 4 straight hits to start off this bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, they're seeing the ball great off of Cook so far.
Looks like we have a pinch hitter, and it's Brady Reed in for Lopez.
At the DH spot.
First pitch misses for a ball to Reed. As Berkeley Post 14 now has 12 hits today. Pitch from Cook, high and inside for ball 2 to Reed.
And again, it's a late onslaught. 4 runs in the last inning. 2 runs so far on 4 hits here.
They're 3 runs away from a mercy rule. Is this one inside? Did it hit Reed? Doesn't react to it, so I thought it might have just hit his jersey on that left arm sleeve, but it's a 3-0 count now. That one right down the middle, called a strike. Alan Cook kind of out there, just really not much speed or velocity to his pitches, kind of just out there throwing them, as this one inside for ball 4, so that loads the bases with nobody out.
I don't see anyone warming up for Boonsboro. I don't know if they have someone ready to go.
That's a first tonight.
Right, it seems like at all times there's that bullpen for Boonsboro in the right field side has been active.
Earhart up to bat now. Pitch misses for a ball, counting 1-0 to Andrew. Pitch from Cook, misses high for ball 2. Got nowhere to put him as the bases are loaded with no out.
Yeah, and I mean, when you're Boonsboro using your 7th pitcher, it might just be instant at this point where you just kind of let it ride.
This one misses in for ball 3.
We're down by 7 runs now, 6th inning. don't want to use up guys that you don't need to.
3-0 pitch. Hits him for ball 4. Earhart looks to be okay as he makes his way over to first on the hit by pitch. Reed goes to second. Sven Dupree goes to third. Smith comes home to score to make it 11-3 now. And
that is going to be it for
bottom of the 6th. It looks like Alan Cook is done, so we'll see the 8th pitcher for Boonsboro, and let's keep it here to see who it is, as this one is kind of just slipped away. It was at one point 4-3, but the offense of Berkeley Post 14 has really just been able to take over this one.
They really have. I think it's just a swap of pitcher and first base. Sean Higgins on the mound now. Alan Cook over to first.
So let's see what Sean Higgins can do, as Berkeley Post 14 2 runs away from applying the 10-run mercy rule and getting the win against Boonsboro.
Yep, so, I mean, a base hit can end it. And you're at the top of your lineup now.
Yeah, you have Grove getting ready, as he has had a pretty solid performance so far offensively. A 2-for-2 day with an RBI and 2 walks, and also scoring once.
Yep, 3 stolen bases once he's gotten one in all 4 at-bats. So that's, like we said last time, that's exactly what you want out of your leadoff guy, getting on base in every at-bat, stealing a base
so
almost every time too.
Let's see if we can make a prediction here if the pattern remains to be true. First at-bat, single. Second at-bat, walk. Third at-bat, single. Fourth at-bat, walk. So this one should be a single for Grove if he keeps that pattern going. So let's see if maybe that holds true and he can end it.
I think that's a solid prediction. He's seen the ball well today.
As most of the team has is
Brady Reed over at second base. He has enough speed to make it on a base hit, but I'm sure the outfield's going to play very shallow. As you can see, center field certainly is.
11 runs on 12 hits. Nobody has struck out so far for Berkeley Post 14.
That's pretty amazing.
9 walks, though. So the discipline there at the plate is on point today for the Junior Hornets.
Absolutely.
So here we go for the 8th pitcher for Boonsboro, and Sean Higgins against Isaac Grove. Pitch from Higgins. Send into right field. It gets down for a base hit. Grove has the single, and that should be that. Or did only one come across? They only sent one. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, Brady Reed had to hold up a little bit at second base, make sure the ball dropped in, so he didn't get a good enough jump.
So still 1 run away. It's Ben Reisenweber now up to bat.
Reisenweber,
12-3 ball game.
Reisenweber's first at bat had a sac fly RBI. That doing that same exact thing would end the game here.
Swings at the first pitch, and it's down the third base line and called foul for strike 1.
He's also walked twice, which would also end the game.
Reed had to dodge that one. You got Reed on third, Earhart on second, Grove on first, nobody out. This one caught a strike to Reisenweber, with count now 0-2. Higgins steps on the rubber, ahead in the count now against Reisenweber. Runners take their leads. This one, line drive into the left field gap. Reed will jog his way home to score, and Berkeley Post 14 picks up the 13-3 win over Boonsboro and improves to 9-3 on the season. We'll step aside, take a 2-minute break, and then be back for the post game here at P.O. Faulkner Park. You're tuned into American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Not sure where to go or who to trust with your flooring project? And start with Trips Flooring, proudly serving the area for more than 25 years, specializing in floor sanding and refinishing, along with installation of new flooring, including hardwood, tile, vinyl, laminate, carpet, and the hottest trend in flooring, luxury vinyl, tile, and luxury vinyl plank. Are you on a budget? Check out their warehouse, cash and carry, or call 304-229-7009, or visit them online at tripsfloorsanding.com.
The Skinner family has been representing West Virginians for more than 50 years.
We've changed the name of our firm to Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers because we want to be clear about what we do. We represent people who have been in car, truck, and other catastrophic accidents.
We're here to be a voice for the injured and vulnerable, and we take that job seriously with deep commitment to serving our clients wherever they are.
Just Google Skinner Accident Lawyer or visit SkinnerWins.com. We'll treat you like family. Join us this summer for the thrill of American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. The Berkeley Post 14 Hornets are the premier team in the area, and you don't want to miss 1 second of the action.
The next pitch to Baden Hartman is cracked out to deep left field. That ball is going, gone! A 3-run homer!
The Hornets begin their season on June 3rd. We'll have coverage all the way through the area tournament, July 18th through the 22nd at P.O. Faulkner Park.
The game may be over, but don't go away just yet. We've got a complete game recap, analysis, stats, the player of the game, and we'll prepare you for our next broadcast. All on the postgame show. So let's return to the field and rejoin our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
Welcome back as the Berkeley Post 14 Junior Hornets improve to 9-3 on the season with a 13-3 victory tonight over Boonsboro Post 10. I'm Colin McLaughlin. Alongside me is Dylan Bishop, our cameraman. We're Nick Verzolini and Braden Schaffner. Back at the studio is Spencer Dupuis as the offense coming alive late for Berkeley Post 14 as they were able to stay ahead for the most part of this one. I mean, it started off with a 2-0 lead in the top of the first for Boonsboro Post 14 against Grant Henderson. That was the first runs that he gave up all season long, but after that was able to settle in, only giving up 3 in total, 2 of them earned. He had 5 innings pitched, only giving up 7 hits with 6 strikeouts and 2 walks, and then Gross came in for 1 inning and struck out 1, only giving up 1 hit. But after that top of the first, it was, for the most part, all Berkeley Post 14 because they responded in the bottom of the first to tie things up. Went scoreless in the second. Then Berkeley Post 14 took the lead in the bottom of the third with a run to make it 3-2. And then 4-2 in the bottom of the fourth. Made it 4-3 in the top of the fifth for Boonsboro. But after that, Berkeley Post 14 went on and scored 4 runs in the bottom of the fifth on 3 hits and 4 walks. And then here in the 6th inning, they were able to have 5 runs scored to get the Mercy Rule win, on 13 runs, 14 hits, and 1 error. And let's get ready now to send it down to Dylan Bishop, who's alongside our player of the game in Grant Henderson. Dylan?
All right, down here with a winning pitcher on the day, Grant Henderson. Grant, 6 strikeouts on the day for you. I think you had some pretty good stuff out there. Struggled a little bit in the first inning. How'd you recover after that and be able to put those guys down?
I mean, I just had confidence in my pitches, and I just kind of like got through it in my head. And I think when I did that, I think I just did pretty good with that.
And the bats came alive behind you. They gave you a lot of support out there. What's it mean to have these guys, this lineup that can get you some insurance out there?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a big confidence booster whenever you have such a good team like this, hitting and defensively. I mean, I know, just to know that they're always behind me, it's awesome.
All right, you guys get the win. You've been pitching really well this year. So what do you think's been working so far this summer? You've had success out here for Post 14.
I mean, I think just again the confidence is like my confidence is through the roof right now with this team. I mean, I know anything I do, I have backup behind me, so I think it just helped me out a lot.
What do you think the main takeaway you want to take from today's game in particular is?
I mean, definitely our hitting was good, and yeah, just the boys backing me up today.
All right, Grant, thank you very much. Congrats on the win.
Alrighty, that was again our player of the game in Grant Henderson, as he was today's winning pitcher. Again, his stat line: 5 innings pitched, 7 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, 6 strikeouts, and 2 walks, as Dylan now has our manager in Ryan Childs. So when Dylan's ready, go ahead.
All right, down here with Coach Childs. Coach, big win for you guys today. The bats came alive at the end. You got a good start from Grant Henderson. Start with his performance out on the mound. It took gave up a couple runs in the first inning, but he really settled in and pitched well, 6 strikeouts in the end.
Yep, Grant threw well again. He's been throwing well all year. Started off a little rough, not necessarily his fault. Had to pop up in the first inning. But really, after that, just kind of dealt a little bit for the next 5 innings. That's kind of what he does. I've been preaching to him, I need you to get deep in the ball games, throw less pitches. He made it through 5 innings and a little over 85 pitches, so he did great again.
And those bats came alive towards the end. You guys end up with the run rule, 13 runs after only 4 runs through those first 4 innings. So, and you guys saw the ball really well today. Really, everyone up and down the lineup.
Oh yeah, I was excited to see that, especially after last night. It was a emotional night, late night. So we did start off a little sluggish, which I expected, but I'm glad to see we woke up and everyone swung the bats well today. So got Roger and Weber starting to hit the ball real well. Pedersen's coming alive. So as long as we keep swinging the bats, we'll be tough to beat.
What do you think it says about your team that you guys had 9 walks today and no strikeouts?
That's pretty amazing. I didn't even realize it until Coach mentioned it after the game. I guess you're pretty hard to beat when you don't strike out, put the ball in play, make the defense work a little bit. So as long as we keep putting the barrel on the ball, we'll be all right.
Yeah. What do you think the main takeaway you want to take from this one to tell the guys to build upon for the rest of the summer?
Pretty much tonight's game, I told them we're going to play games like this. Sometimes we're going to be on the other end of it. But games like this, you got to come in and take care of business like we did. We finally woke up a little bit and took care of business. So that's pretty much the big takeaway from tonight is when you get on top, stay on top and keep rolling.
All right, Coach, congrats on the win. Thanks for joining us. Back to you, Colin.
Thank you to Dylan Bishop for grabbing both Grant Henderson as well as Ryan Childs. Before we wrap things up here, tomorrow the junior Hornets will be at Waynesboro Post 15. First pitch for that at 6 o'clock. We will have some Post 14 senior action tomorrow with pregame set for 4:45. First pitch at 5 p.m. give or take, depending. Or excuse me, that is the first game, so should be right at 5 o'clock. Had my days mixed up there. But Berkeley Post 14 at 5 o'clock tomorrow will go against the West Lawn Owls in day 1 of the tournament right here at P.O. Faulkner Park. So for Spencer Dupuis as well as Nick Verzolini, Braden Schaffner, and Dylan Bishop, I'm Colin McLaughlin signing off here for Talk Radio WRNR and TV10 as the Berkeley Post 14 Junior Hornets improved to 9-3 by picking up a 13-3 win over Boonsboro Post 10. Have a great rest of your evening, everybody.
You've been tuned into American Legion Baseball for the continued excitement of high school, college, and Major League Baseball. Keep it tuned to 106.5 FM, AM 740, Comcast Cable Channel 10, and online at talkradiowrnr.com.